There is a moment just before sleep when your mind is still listening. The world grows quiet, but your thoughts are still awake, repeating, remembering, worrying. And yet, this moment is sacred. It is the doorway between who you have been and who you are becoming. It is the space where old patterns end and new beginnings whisper your name. As you lie here, your breath slowing, your heart steady, I want you to know something simple and powerful. You are safe to rest now. Every cell in your body is ready to release what it has carried all day. The struggle, the judgment, the endless lists of should have and must do, they can all fall away, because tonight life asks nothing of you but peace. You do not have to solve anything. You do not have to prove anything. You only have to allow yourself to rest. You may think that real change happens in daylight through hard work and endless effort, but the deepest healing often happens in the dark while you rest. When the conscious mind finally stops interfering, the body begins to listen again to truth. I am loved, I am whole, I am enough. As you sleep to these words, they will reach the parts of you that never rest, the parts that have been waiting for permission to believe something better. Because even when you sleep, your subconscious listens, and it believes what it hears most often. So tonight, let it hear love. Let it hear peace. Let it hear the words you needed to hear years ago. Imagine waking tomorrow without the weight you carried today. No more rehearsing old pain. No more waking with tension already in your chest. This is your dream outcome, to drift to sleep feeling loved and to rise feeling free. Your body restores itself as your mind softens. Your dreams become gentle teachers instead of fearful reminders. You begin to feel what you've been seeking all along, the safety of your own love. Now imagine the nightmare of doing what you've always done, falling asleep, replaying worries, conversations, failures. You already know how that story ends. Restless nights, tired mornings, a heart that never truly rests. You wake carrying yesterday into today, again and again, until the days blur into a single ache of exhaustion. But tonight, you can choose differently. You can speak new words into the silence and let them take root as you sleep. You can make peace with yourself before you dream. Perhaps you've tried before to think positively, to repeat affirmations, to change habits, and you wonder if anything really works. That doubt is human. It's the echo of years of self-criticism and disappointment. But every person who has healed through love began with a single night like this one quiet decision to let go of the old story. That is how we increase your likelihood of healing, not through pressure, but through gentle repetition, because repetition is how the body learns safety again. And what is the risk if you do not change the way you fall asleep? It is that you will continue to dream the same painful dreams awake and asleep. The past will play on a loop because you never turned down its volume before rest. The same worries will whisper in new disguises. But tonight, you can finally say, enough. Tonight, you turn toward peace. Here is the beauty. This transformation does not take months. It begins tonight. The speed of healing is the speed of your willingness to release. With every exhale, you let go a little more. With every inhale, you receive peace a little deeper. You may not notice it all at once, but your cells will, your heart will. You are already changing as you listen, and it doesn't require effort or sacrifice, only surrender. There is ease here. You do not need to fix, force, or strive. Healing comes quietly when you stop demanding that it hurry. It arrives while you sleep. As the gentle rhythm of your breath teaches your body a new story. I am safe, I am loved, I can. Rest now. As you surrender to rest, notice how your energy begins to shift. Your heartbeat softens into the rhythm of peace. The muscles in your face unclench. Your thoughts drift, slow and fade. You are entering harmony with life itself, and as you rest, something else changes your status in your own eyes. You no longer see yourself as broken or behind. You see a soul learning to trust life again. Others will feel it too. Your morning calm softens your home. Your smile brings ease to the faces around you, and your peace becomes contagious. This is how love multiplies, silently, gently, through one rested heart at a time. Think of your timeline now. In the past, nights were battles filled with thoughts that would not quiet. In the present, this is your surrender. In the future, sleep becomes your sanctuary, a sacred time where healing continues on its own. And every night you return here, the new pattern strengthens until peace becomes your default state. So let the words wash over you like a lullaby for your mind. Let them reach every memory that has ever hurt you, every thought that ever doubted you. Let them speak to the small child within, who still longs to be told, you did enough, you are enough. You can rest now, and as you drift deeper, whisper quietly to yourself, I release the day, I forgive the past, I am safe to dream again. Let those words echo in rhythm with your breath. Each time you breathe out, you let go a little more. Each time you breathe in, you fill yourself with light. Fall asleep to these words. Let them become your nightly ritual, your declaration of peace. Because when you rest in love, you awaken healed. Not someday, not in some distant future, but tomorrow morning when the light touches your face and your first thought is gentle. That is how life changes, one peaceful night at a time. Tonight, you begin. Sleep now, dear one. You are safe, you are loved, you are free. There is a sacred stillness that visits the world each night, a soft invitation whispered to every weary heart. Rest now, dear one. Between wakefulness and sleep lies a tender doorway where the mind begins to loosen its grip and the soul steps forward to listen. It is here that we remember who we are beyond thought, beyond effort, beyond the noise of the day. So many people bring their worries to bed as though they were precious things that cannot be left behind. They replay conversations, rehearse fears, carry unfinished stories into dreams. Yet, the body longs for quiet, and the heart begs for peace. When we carry the noise of the day into the night, we prevent the soul from performing its holy work of restoration. I once spent nights wrestling with my own mind, convinced that the harder I thought, the closer I would come to control. But control is not rest. Control is tension, wearing the mask of safety. It was only when I learned to let go, when I whispered to myself, you are safe to rest now, that sleep began to heal me instead of elude me. True rest is not merely the stillness of the body, it is the surrender of the soul. It is the quiet trust that life, which has carried you through every waking hour, will continue to hold you through the night. You do not need to stay awake to keep the stars in their place. Life knows how to keep its rhythm without your worry. Each exhale is a small act of forgiveness, a release of what was never yours to hold. Each inhale is a receiving a reminder that peace is always waiting to be drawn in. Breathe this way, and you will feel your body soften. The chest loosens, the jaw releases. The mind, long used to control, begins to drift like a leaf on a gentle stream. When you fall asleep in gratitude, your dreams change their tone. They no longer remind you of fear, they become healers. They show you what your waking mind has been too hurried to notice, that you are already loved, already safe, already whole. Gratitude before sleep is a prayer that needs no words. It tells life, "Thank you for carrying me today. I will trust you through the night." There was a time when fear kept me from sleep. I worried over the next day, the next decision, the next imagined loss. I thought that vigilance would protect me, but it only exhausted me. The night became a battlefield. Then one evening I sat beside my bed and said aloud, "Life, I am tired of fearing you. I am ready to rest in your arms." That night I slept deeply for the first time in years. As you lie here now, know that your rest is holy. You do not need to earn it. It is given freely. The sun does not apologize for setting, nor must you for resting. This hour is your sanctuary, your return to innocence. You are allowed to stop holding everything together. Life can manage itself for a while. You may have been taught that stillness is laziness, that rest is wasteful, but rest is renewal. It is the soil in which new strength takes root. A farmer does not scold the field for lying fallow. She knows it must. You too must allow yourself to lie quietly and let tomorrow's harvest prepare itself in the unseen. As your breath slows, feel the day's weight slipping away. The shoulders that held the world can now relax. The thoughts that guarded you can now dissolve. You have done enough for today. The world will continue spinning. Your only task is to receive peace. Tonight, as you cross this threshold, let yourself be cared for. Imagine a soft light above you, a presence, gentle and constant. It watches over you not to judge, but to soothe. With every breath, the light grows warmer, wrapping you in safety. You are not alone in this rest. Life itself is resting with you. When the mind softens, the body follows. And when the body rests, the soul begins its work, clearing, cleansing, renewing. Even now, your cells are listening. They are responding to your willingness to surrender. Healing does not begin with struggle. It begins with release. Do not fear sleep. It is not an ending, but a return to the deeper part of you that remembers peace. As you drift, the day folds itself away, like a page turned gently in a well-loved book. You have read all you needed to read today. You may close it now and let life write tomorrow's chapter while you dream. If thoughts arise, do not chase them away. Let them pass like clouds in the evening sky. You need not control them. You only need to choose which ones you follow. Choose the soft ones, the loving ones, the ones that whisper, "All is well." The world may measure worth by doing, but life measures worth by being. As you drift toward sleep, remember this: you are enough simply because you exist. You need not fix anything before resting. You do not need to tidy your mind. Peace enters through the cracks of imperfection. Let the rhythm of your breath guide you home. Each inhale invites serenity. Each exhale releases resistance. Let this rhythm become your lullaby, the song of your own body saying, "I am safe, I am loved, I can rest now." As you surrender to this stillness, you are not falling asleep, you are falling into alignment with life itself. The same intelligence that moves the tides and grows the stars moves gently through you, asking only for your trust. And as your eyelids grow heavy, feel the kindness of this truth. You are being restored, not by effort, but by love. The healing has already begun. You need only to rest, and life will do the rest for you. Before sleep can fully cradle us, we must acknowledge the faithful companion that has carried us through this day, the body. It is our oldest friend, our constant servant, our quiet home. The body never stops working. It breathes for us, moves for us, heals for us, all while asking for so little in return. Tonight, we speak to it gently. We thank it. We give it permission to rest. For many years, I lived apart from my body. I treated it as something to manage, correct, even fight against. I called it names when it tired. I blamed it when it hurt. I criticized it when it didn't look the way I thought it should. But the body is innocent. It mirrors only what we believe. It listens to our thoughts as faithfully as a child, listens to a parent's tone, and when the mind speaks in anger, the body tightens in fear. I learned this truth through my own pain. There were times when my body ached with no clear cause, when exhaustion clung to me no matter how long I slept. I did not understand that my body was not betraying me. It was pleading for kindness. Each pain was a message, each tension a word in the body's quiet language. When I finally began to listen, I heard it say, "Please love me. I am trying to protect you." So tonight, we listen. As you lie here, feel the weight of your body against the bed. Notice how it holds you. The floor beneath you, the mattress, the pillow, all are part of life's great support. You do not have to hold yourself up right now. You can let go. Place your hand over your heart and feel it beating. It has been beating for you since before you spoke your first word. It has never stopped, not once, not in anger, not in grief, not in fear. Whisper to it now, "Thank you. You may rest." Move your awareness slowly through your body as though you are tucking a child into bed. Begin with your feet. Thank them for carrying you through the world. Move upward, your legs, your hips, your back. Thank them for their strength. So many parts of you have worked without complaint. Tonight, each one deserves acknowledgement. If you find areas of tension, do not judge them. They are only old fears stored in muscle and bone. They are not your enemies. Place your breath there. As you exhale, imagine that part of your body softening, releasing the story it has been holding. The body does not need to be fixed, it needs to be loved. I have seen people's health transform simply by changing the way they speak to their bodies. One woman I once taught had lived for years with chronic pain. Each morning she would sigh and say, "This pain is ruining me." I asked her to change her words. Instead, she began each day saying, "Thank you, body, for showing me where I am holding fear. I am ready to release it." Within weeks, her body responded to the new tone. The pain lessened. Love had reached the place where medicine could not. The body is the temple through which life expresses itself. Every breath is prayer, every heartbeat is devotion. When we bless the body, we are blessing the house of the divine. There is nothing unspiritual about the physical. Spirit lives within every cell. Tension, I have learned, is simply fear in physical form. When the mind worries, the body braces itself as though danger were near. That is why loving thoughts can create such ease. They tell the body, "You are safe now." The shoulders lower, the stomach softens, the breath deepens. Love is the great physician. If you have spent years criticizing your body, let tonight be the first night of forgiveness. Whisper softly, "I am sorry for the times I spoke unkindly to you. I did not know you were listening. I see now that you have always done your best to protect me." Feel how your body responds to these words. Even now, the healing has begun. Think of how much this body has endured for you, every fall, every heartbreak, every long night of effort, and yet it continues to wake each morning, ready to serve. It has never demanded repayment, only acknowledgement. When you thank your body, you give it the medicine of recognition, and recognition is the beginning of healing. Let us offer gratitude, part by part. Thank you, feet, for walking my path. Thank you, legs, for carrying my dreams. Thank you, stomach, for digesting not only food but emotion. Thank you, arms, for holding what I love. Thank you, lungs, for breathing even when I forget to. Notice you. Thank you, heart, for your faithful rhythm. Speak these words slowly. letting the body feel each one. Every cell is listening. Science may not yet describe it this way, but I have seen it. The body thrives in an atmosphere of appreciation. Its chemistry changes when bathed in loving thought. Its energy reorganizes itself in response to kindness. It blossoms like a flower under sunlight. If sleep begins to take you, let it. Love will continue the conversation while you rest. Your body knows the language now. It will absorb every word as nourishment. Healing does not need to be conscious to be complete. You may find tears rising as you bless your body. Let them come. Tears are the body's way of exhaling pain. They wash away old judgments and make room for peace. The heart, when thanked, often weeps out of relief. When you awaken tomorrow, your body will remember this night. It will respond to your thoughts with greater ease. It will trust you a little more. This is how healing builds, through gentle repetition, through love made consistent. And as you drift deeper now, imagine your body glowing faintly, every cell luminous with gratitude. From your feet to your crown, light moves in soft waves, carrying peace into every corner. You are not doing this. It is being done for you. Love, the great intelligence, knows how to restore what has been strained. Before you surrender completely to sleep, whisper once more, "You are safe to rest now." Say it to your body as you would to a beloved child. Feel how instantly it believes you. The muscles melt, the heart slows, the breath steadies. The body's evening prayer is simple. Thank you for carrying me. I love you. You are safe. If these are your last thoughts before sleep, you will awaken renewed. Rest now, dear one. The body knows what to do. Love is taking care of everything. There is a quiet art to ending the day. Most people rush into sleep still tangled in their thoughts, rehearsing, regretting, remembering. But the mind cannot find peace while it is still holding 1,000 unfinished stories. Before we can truly rest, we must let the day go. Not erase it, not judge it, but simply release it back to life, trusting that all is well for now. Each day is a small lifetime. It begins with hope, unfolds through choice, and closes with wisdom. Some days shine brightly, others arrive heavy with lessons. Yet every day, no matter how imperfect, deserves gratitude. It has brought you here to this very moment of surrender. Whatever it contained, laughter or tears, it has served its purpose. Now it is ready to return to silence. There was a time when I ended every day in worry. I would lie awake replaying words I wished I had said differently, decisions I thought I should have made. I believed that by analyzing them long enough, I could change them. But all I ever did was carry yesterday's tension into tomorrow. The body cannot rest while the mind clings to what is done. Tonight, we choose a gentler ritual. Take a slow breath, dear one. Let the air fill you fully. Now exhale and imagine the whole day leaving with that breath, the noise, the busyness, the expectations. Each exhale is a release, a soft saying of enough. Think of every moment of this day as a wave that has already reached the shore. You do not need to chase it back into the sea. Let it recede naturally. You are not responsible for keeping the tide in place. Life knows how to complete itself without your constant watchfulness. Forgiveness before sleep is the highest hygiene for the soul. Just as you wash your face and hands to prepare for bed, you must also wash the mind. Forgive the words you spoke in haste, the thoughts you believed in fear, the things you did not accomplish. Forgive the others too, for they too are learning as you are. When you forgive before rest, you enter the night clean in spirit. I used to believe that forgiveness meant approving what had hurt me. Now I know it means freedom. It means saying, I will not carry this another hour. The weight you release at night becomes the peace you wake to in the morning. Let us try together. Think of one thing from this day that still feels unfinished. Perhaps a misunderstanding, a regret, a moment of tension. Hold it gently in your mind, not to analyze it, but to bless it. Say softly, I release you. I learned from you. You may go now. Feel how your body responds to those words. The shoulders lower, the chest expands, the energy that was trapped begins to move again. When you release the day, you make room for healing. The mind no longer defends itself against what has already happened. It begins to rest in the present moment, which is the only place peace can ever be found. Sleep is not an escape, it is a sacred return to now. I often tell people that no good is achieved by carrying today into tomorrow. Each day deserves its own sunrise, its own beginning. If you carry yesterday's worry into the new dawn, it will only repeat itself in disguise. But if you end today with gratitude, tomorrow will greet you with grace. As you lie here, imagine yourself placing each thought into a soft light. The light is warm, forgiving, alive. Watch as the thoughts dissolve, one by one. The light does not reject them, it transforms them. They fade into peace, becoming part of the quiet rhythm of the night. If you feel guilt for something undone, remember, perfection was never the goal. Growth was. Say to yourself, I did what I could with what I knew, and that is enough. The heart opens when it hears those words. It has been waiting for that kindness. There were nights when I could not sleep because I was afraid of what tomorrow would bring. I learned slowly that fear is only imagination without trust. I began replacing the question, what will happen, with whatever happens, I will meet it with love. That simple shift turned anxiety into acceptance, and acceptance into rest. When you rest tonight, you are not abandoning your responsibilities. You are allowing life to take its turn. You have done your part for the day. Now life will continue the work in silence. The same intelligence that keeps your heart beating will take care of the details. You are safe to rest. You may wish to speak softly to yourself now. The day is done. I am free to rest. All is well, and I release this day with love. Feel how these words settle like a gentle weight upon your body, grounding you in peace. The nervous system hears them, the breath deepens, and the mind finally believes, it is over. I can let go. This moment is holy, for it is here that you choose peace over perfection, love over effort, surrender over control. Each night you practice this, the mind learns trust, the body learns safety, the heart learns faith. If there was joy today, keep its fragrance. If there was sorrow, let it dissolve into the larger ocean of understanding. Everything has served your awakening, even what you could not yet see as good. Life wastes nothing, not even your mistakes. Now, as you rest, imagine a door closing softly behind you. The day is on the other side, blessed and complete. You are walking into the quiet meadow of night where only peace lives. Nothing from the past can follow you here. Peace is not earned by finishing every task. It arrives the moment you surrender the need to do so. You do not need to fix what is already forgiven by life. You only need to stop retelling the story of struggle. Rest does not ask for achievement, it asks for acceptance. Breathe one last long, deep breath. Whisper thank you to yourself, to the day, to life itself. As you exhale, imagine the last thread of tension leaving your body. What remains is stillness. What remains is peace. Sleep now, knowing that you have done enough. The day is over. Tomorrow will take care of itself. Tonight belongs to you. And in this quiet release, your heart is being restored to its natural rhythm, the rhythm of grace. There is a gentle truth I learned long ago. While the body sleeps, the mind continues to listen. The conscious thoughts grow quiet, but beneath them, the deeper mind, the one that shapes our beliefs and directs our tomorrows, remains awake. It records everything we tell it, especially in these soft hours between waking and dreaming. That is why the moments before sleep are sacred. They are when the soul writes its instructions for the next dawn. Most people fall asleep repeating the stories of the day, worries, grievances, fears. They do not realize that they are planting those same thoughts as seeds in the fertile soil of the subconscious. And then they wonder why they wake heavy, tense, and weary. The mind simply grew what was sown. But when we end the day with words of peace, the harvest that follows is joy. I began to change my life the first night. I understood this. I was lying in bed, restless with worry, when a thought came. If my body listens to my mind, perhaps my mind listens to my heart. So I placed a hand over my chest and whispered, I am safe, I am loved, I can rest now. I repeated it until the words no longer felt foreign. And when sleep took me, it carried those words deeper than any conscious effort ever could. Your subconscious is a faithful servant. It never sleeps, never argues, never refuses an instruction. It takes what you give it and builds the world around it. If you tell it each night, I am anxious, I am afraid, I am not enough, it must obey. But if you tell it, I am calm, I am whole, I am loved, it will just as obediently begin to create that reality for you. It does not ask what is true, it asks what you believe. Repetition is the language of belief. The mind learns through gentle consistency, not force. That is why repeating kind affirmations as you drift to sleep is so powerful. You are not forcing the mind to change. You are showing it a new rhythm, one it will soon begin to follow naturally. As you lie here, I invite you to choose your thoughts the way you would choose lullabies for a child. Pick only those that comfort. Let every phrase you repeat be a caress rather than a command. Perhaps begin with these words, I am loved, I am whole, I am safe. Say them quietly, feel them moving through you like waves. The mind, ever receptive, begins to absorb their tone. When I first began teaching people to practice this, many said, Louise, I say the words, but I don't feel them. I always replied, you are not lying. You are learning. The feeling will come with repetition. Just as the body learns through habit, so does the mind. Keep speaking gently, and in time, your heart will begin to believe its own new language. I used to fall asleep in fear of the future. I would wake still weary because fear does not rest even while we sleep. But once I began ending my nights with gratitude and loving thoughts, I noticed that my dreams changed. They no longer punished, they began to teach. Dreams are not random, they are the soul's way of rearranging belief. When you fill the night with peace, your dreams become servants of healing. There is a beautiful law at work in the universe. Whatever we think repeatedly with feeling becomes form. The night mind, open and impressionable, receives every repeated thought as instruction. You need not force faith. Simply speak love often enough that it becomes familiar, and love will do the rest. Before you drift away tonight, let us plant a few seeds together. You may whisper them or only think them softly. I am loved, I am safe, I am forgiven, I rest easily in the arms of life. I allow healing to happen in me. I am at peace. These simple sentences may seem small, but they are the language through which the subconscious remembers truth. Even if your waking mind doubts, it does not matter. The deeper part of you understands. It recognizes these words as its own. They are not new, they are remembered. You were born believing them. The night is a teacher unlike any other. Its silence allows what is true to sink deeper than the noise of daylight ever could. While the world sleeps, life tends to the roots. The thoughts you choose now will take hold there, growing quietly until one morning you notice that peace feels natural again. I often imagine my mind at night as a vast garden. In the early years, it was overgrown with weeds of fear and judgment, but I learned that I did not need to fight them. I only needed to plant flowers of love and water them with repetition. In time, the weeds withdrew on their own. Love is the gardener. It always wins in the end. Even in dreams, the soul continues to learn. It revisits places, faces, and moments, not to torture you, but to show you what still asks for healing. When you sleep in love, the dream world becomes a classroom of peace. The lessons are gentle, the outcomes kind. You wake lighter because your soul has done its work in silence. If you have struggled to believe in your affirmations, remember this: you are not teaching something new, you are reminding yourself of something ancient. The soul has always known that it is loved, that it is safe, that it is eternal. These truths never left you. They were only buried under worry. The night gives them space to rise again. So tonight, as you drift deeper, let the last thought you give to the world be one of love. Let it travel beyond your body, beyond your room, into the still air of night. Let it bless every person you have met today, every corner of your life, every corner of your mind. Love spreads quietly, but its work is vast. And when sleep comes, know that you are not losing consciousness. You are returning to consciousness of another kind. You are stepping into the deeper awareness that keeps the stars aligned and the breath flowing. This awareness never sleeps. It continues your healing while you rest. As you drift now, repeat once more, softly and sincerely, I am loved, I am whole, I am safe. Let these words become your heartbeat. The subconscious hears them, believes them, and begins to weave them into every cell of your being. By morning, they will have become part of you. You need not try harder. You need only to trust that love never misses a moment. Even in sleep, it is at work rewriting fear into faith, tension into peace, self-doubt into self-approval. Tonight, you are teaching your mind what peace sounds like, and tomorrow it will remember. Rest now, dear one. The night mind is listening. It is recording every word of love and transforming it into the pattern of your new life. The work is being done for you. You can surrender completely. Life is rewriting your story as you dream. There is a tenderness that fills the heart when we end the day in gratitude. Gratitude is the bridge between waking and rest, the soft light that carries us from doing into being. It is impossible to hold both tension and thankfulness at the same time. One melts into the other, and what remains is peace. As you prepare to sleep, gratitude becomes your final prayer, your final act of creation for the day. When I began to close my evenings in thanks, my life changed in ways I could not have imagined. I used to end my days in analysis: what went wrong, what still needed to be done, how I could have been better. But one evening, in the quiet glow of a small lamp, I asked myself, what if I looked for what went right instead? That night I thanked the smallest things: the sound of laughter I'd heard in the afternoon, the warmth of the blanket, the taste of tea. I slept peacefully, and in the morning life itself seemed gentler. The heart, when filled with gratitude, becomes a singer. Its rhythm slows, its tone softens, and the whole body listens. Gratitude speaks a language that every cell understands. All is well. You are safe. The body responds to these words by releasing its armor. The breath deepens, the heartbeat steadies. This is how the night receives us, not as a battlefield to survive, but as a cradle that rocks us into renewal. As you lie here, think of the blessings that touched your day, no matter how small. Perhaps it was a smile from a stranger or the simple grace of breathing. Gratitude is not about grand events, it is about awareness. Each moment you notice as a gift becomes sacred. The more you look, the more you find, for gratitude multiplies whatever it touches. There were times when I could not find anything to thank. On those nights I began simply with "Thank you, life, for my breath." That was enough. Gratitude, like a flame, does not need much to burn. It only needs to be kindled. Once lit, it spreads quietly until it illuminates even the darkest corners of the mind. The heart that goes to sleep, thankful, cannot wake, resentful. Gratitude cleans the mind of complaint. It whispers to the subconscious, focus on the good, and it will grow. As you dream, those gentle thoughts take root, shaping how you will see the world tomorrow. The grateful sleeper awakens to opportunity. The complainer awakens to proof of complaint. Life is always faithful to the tone of our rest. I often tell people that gratitude is not just a feeling, it is a decision to see with loving eyes. You can practice it even in sorrow. When pain visits, you can still say, "Thank you for teaching me courage." When endings come, you can still whisper, "Thank you for all I have learned." Gratitude transforms every experience into wisdom. It is the alchemy of the soul. I once met a man who struggled to sleep for years. His mind, full of grievances, never found stillness. I asked him to list 3 things each night for which he could give thanks. At first he resisted, it felt trivial, but within weeks his rest deepened. Within months he said to me, "It's strange. I have the same life, but I see it differently." That is the quiet power of gratitude. It changes the lens through which we live. Let us try it now. Begin by bringing to mind something from today that made you smile, however briefly. See it clearly in your mind. Feel the warmth it carries. Now whisper softly, "Thank you." Let that "thank you" expand until it fills your chest. Breathe it in as though the word itself were light. Now think of something that challenged you today, a misunderstanding, a delay, an old fear that rose again. Instead of tightening around it, bless it. Say, "Thank you for showing me where I still need gentleness." You will feel the resistance begin to loosen. Gratitude does not deny discomfort, it redeems it. As you continue this gentle reflection, let your body follow. The more you thank, the more the body releases. The muscles lengthen, the hands unclench, the jaw softens. Gratitude tells the body the danger has passed, we are safe, and the body believes it. You may now say quietly to yourself, "Thank you, life, for loving me through this day." These simple words contain more healing power than any medicine, for in that statement is trust. It tells life, even if I do not understand everything, I trust that it was for my good. And trust is the bedrock of peace. I remember the first night I felt gratitude so deeply that it moved me to tears. It was not a night of triumph, it was an ordinary evening. But in that ordinariness, I felt something vast moving through me. Gratitude connects us to the rhythm of creation itself. The same life that breathes through the trees and tides breathes through you. When you thank it, it answers in kind. The more you practice, the more natural it becomes. Gratitude ceases to be a task and becomes a way of seeing. Even while washing dishes, you will think, "Thank you for the water, for these hands, for this moment." And in that attitude, peace never leaves. You not in waking, not in sleep. As you drift now toward slumber, imagine your heart glowing softly with golden light. With each breath, the light expands, touching every cell, blessing every memory of the day. This is gratitude in motion, the body's way of saying, "I remember love. If tears come, let them." Gratitude often dissolves what sorrow could not. They are not tears of pain, but of cleansing. They water the garden of your soul so that tomorrow may bloom with ease. Now, dear one, let your final thought before sleep be thankfulness. Thank the day for coming and for ending. Thank your body for serving and for resting. Thank your heart for feeling and forgiving. Thank life for holding you through another turn of the earth. Gratitude is the final key that unlocks the door to healing sleep. Whisper these words softly until they fade into your dreams. Thank you, life, for another day. Thank you for the peace that fills me now. Thank you for the love that never leaves. Let those words drift through your subconscious like a lullaby. Each repetition deepens your rest. Each thank you is a bridge between your waking self and your eternal self. And as sleep takes you, know this truth. Gratitude is not the end of the day. It is the beginning of a new one already forming. You are falling asleep into love, and you will awaken in its light. Morning is not the beginning of the day. It is the continuation of all that healed in the night. When we awaken from sleep steeped in love, the light feels different. The air itself seems softer, as though life is greeting us anew. This is what it means to awaken renewed, not because the world outside has changed, but because the world within has been cleansed by rest, forgiveness, and gratitude. When you open your eyes after a night of peaceful sleep, take a moment before you move. Do not rush to the day. Do not reach for thought. Feel the quiet that still lingers in the room. That silence is sacred. It is the echo of your own healing. The body, freshly restored, hums with a subtle energy. The mind is clear, ready to begin again. The heart, unburdened by yesterday, beats softly with faith. There were mornings in my past when I awoke heavy, as though the night had given me no rest at all. I did not realize then that I had carried my old thoughts through the night. I had fallen asleep with worry as my pillow, and so I woke with it still beside me. But when I learned to fall asleep in love, I began to rise in peace. Healing, I discovered, does not end with sleep. It continues as we awaken. You may notice how a gentle morning feels after a night of loving rest. The body moves differently. The breath feels easier. Even the smallest details, the warmth of sunlight, the coolness of water, feel like gifts. Life responds to your softness. It mirrors your peace back to you. The world looks kinder because your eyes have become kind. As you open to the day, remember that healing is not something you achieve once and keep forever. It is something you renew each morning, just as the sun renews its light. Every day is a chance to begin again. The mind that rested in love overnight will choose love more easily today. Each peaceful night builds upon the last until serenity becomes your natural state. Upon waking, speak gently to yourself. Whisper, "Good morning, beloved. Thank you for resting." These words are small but powerful. They set the tone for the day ahead. Just as self-criticism once shaped your body and mind toward tension, self-approval shapes them now toward grace. The subconscious still listens. It always does, and it loves to be addressed with kindness. Let your first movements be slow and conscious. Stretch your arms, your legs, your back, not with impatience, but with gratitude. Feel the miracle of motion. Each breath that fills you is proof that life has not forgotten you. Each heartbeat is a reminder that the work of love continues within you, even when you are unaware. There was a time when I woke each morning ready to chase the world, to fix, to solve, to prove. Those days always ended in fatigue. Now, I wake in partnership with life rather than in pursuit of it. I say softly, "Life, guide me today. Show me where my love can serve." And the day unfolds gently, without struggle. The world responds to a mind at peace the way a flower responds to sunlight. It opens. You may find that your mornings after restful nights begin to feel like gentle ceremonies. The light through the window becomes a benediction. The first sip of water feels like communion. Even the quiet sounds of life, birds, footsteps, wind become reminders that all is well. Gratitude, carried over from the night, becomes your first language of the day. As you move through your morning, keep some of the stillness of the night within you. The world will call for your attention. It always does. But you can choose to bring the calm with you. You can move slowly, even when others rush. You can breathe deeply, even when the day grows busy. The peace you found in rest can travel with you. It is portable, eternal. Each time you remember the stillness of your sleep, you renew its blessing. You do not lose your peace when you wake, you extend it. That is the true miracle of conscious rest. It follows you. The night teaches the day how to be gentle. The day, lived in awareness, prepares the night for deeper peace. Life becomes a circle of healing without beginning or end. If you wake one morning and forget this, do not worry. Simply begin again. Healing is not measured by perfection, but by willingness. You may stumble back into old worries. That is only a sign that another layer of the old self is ready to dissolve. Speak to yourself kindly. It's all right. We know how to rest now. That reassurance will carry you back to center faster each time. Every sunrise is proof that life never tires of giving you another chance. Whatever you dreamt last night, whether peaceful or strange, has already done its work. Dreams release what you are ready to outgrow. Let them fade. Greet the new day with empty hands. You do not need to hold yesterday. You need only to receive today. If you begin your morning with appreciation, you anchor the peace of the night into the waking world. Stand by your window or simply breathe deeply where you are and say, "Thank you, life, for another day to love and to learn." Feel how those words settle into your body. Gratitude grounds the soul. It keeps your heart open as the day unfolds. I often remind people that self-love is not built in great declarations, but in small, consistent acts of kindness. Every morning you wake in approval of yourself, you reinforce the foundation of peace laid during the night. Each time you say, "I love you," to your reflection, the mind hears it a little deeper. Each day of gentleness adds up until compassion becomes your first instinct. The rhythm of wholeness is simple: rest, gratitude, renewal. It is life's own rhythm. Inhale, exhale, pause. When you align with it, you discover that peace is not a special event. It is the natural hum beneath every breath. You do not have to create it. You need only stop interrupting it. As you step into the day, notice how the world meets you differently when you have rested in love. People smile more easily, problems soften, solutions appear with less effort. The outer world reflects your inner harmony. This is not coincidence, it is correspondence. The universe always mirrors the tone of your being. Let this truth comfort you. Every night you fall asleep in self-approval, you are rewriting your future with grace. The old patterns lose strength, the new ones take root. You are shaping your life not through struggle, but through surrender. Love does the heavy lifting while you rest. So, as the morning sun begins to rise, do not rush to meet the day with the noise of yesterday. Meet it with quiet trust. Say softly, "I am renewed, I am guided, I am grateful." These are not mere words, they are instructions to the universe, and the universe, ever faithful, listens. Today will unfold in harmony because you have chosen harmony. You will speak kindly because you slept in kindness. You will move gently because you rested in gentleness. The peace that watched over you in sleep now walks beside you in daylight. And as you go forth, remember, when you rest in love, you awaken in love. When you sleep in gratitude, you rise in grace. This is the miracle that happens not once, but every night, every morning, for as long as you allow it. So, begin again today, fresh and free. Let the memory of peace be your first companion. Let your breath remind you that life is always beginning anew through you. Smile softly and whisper one final truth that will carry you through the hours ahead. I am rested, I am whole, I am loved, and life supports me in all I do. Carry that thought with you, dear one. The healing that began in sleep now lives in your every step. Pause for a moment. Before you reach for your phone, before you open your eyes fully to the light, take one deep breath and remember where you are. You are alive, you are breathing, then you are surrounded even now by a world that is quietly waiting to love you back. For so many mornings, perhaps for so many years, you have awakened and carried yesterday into today. You have opened your eyes and already begun rehearsing old thoughts. I'm tired, I have too much to do, nothing ever changes. And without realizing it, those words became your morning prayer. Every thought is a message to life. Every sentence you repeat is an instruction your mind obeys. When you say, I am exhausted, your body listens. When you say, this day will be difficult, your nervous system prepares for battle. But when you choose new words, you choose a new direction for every cell in your being. So today we begin again. Today we speak to life with love. Today we plant new seeds in the garden of the mind. There are 8 sentences, 8 small keys that can unlock a different experience of living. They are not magic spells, they are reminders of truth. And when you say them with feeling, when you repeat them each morning with tenderness and faith, they begin to reshape your entire world. But before we say them, I want you to be still. Feel your body resting on the bed or chair where you are. Notice your breath. Notice the miracle of it moving through you without effort. You do not command it, and yet it serves you. You do not understand all its mysteries, and yet it sustains your life perfectly. This is what happens when you allow rather than resist. When you begin your day with self-love, with affirmation, you are not pretending that everything is perfect. You are giving permission for perfection to reveal itself. You are declaring to life, I am ready to be loved, guided, and supported today. Every new day is an open invitation to begin. Again, the past cannot follow you unless you carry it. The pain cannot speak unless you give it your voice. So let us release it right here, right now. Let us let go of the need to rush, to prove, to fight with ourselves. Take another deep breath, and when you are ready, place your hand gently over your heart. Feel that pulse. It is the sound of your purpose. You are meant to be here. You are meant to wake up to joy. You are meant to walk through this day knowing that life itself is on your side. Now, imagine saying these words, the 8 sentences that can open the door to peace, abundance, and love. Imagine speaking them slowly, as though you were teaching your heart a new language. I love myself. I trust life to guide me. I am safe, and all is well. I release the past with ease. I am grateful for this new day. I am open to miracles. I see beauty everywhere. This is the best day of my life. When you speak them, speak with belief, not doubt. You do not have to see the proof, yet your words create the proof. Thought is the blueprint. Emotion is the energy. Action is the bridge. Each time you repeat these sentences, you are not trying to convince the universe. You are training your mind to stop resisting it. You are saying to yourself, I deserve peace. I deserve ease. I deserve love. And that single act of self-approval changes everything. There is nothing arrogant about loving yourself. There is nothing selfish about believing you deserve a good day. The world does not become brighter because we criticize ourselves. It becomes brighter because we choose to shine. Maybe you have carried pain for years. Maybe you have believed that suffering proves your worth or earns your peace. But I want you to know something sacred. Pain is not a punishment. It is a message. It asks to be heard, embraced, and released, not repeated. You are not broken. You are awakening. You are not late. You are arriving at exactly the right time. You are not unworthy. You are the expression of life itself, learning to remember its own beauty. When you wake each morning and speak these sentences, you are not escaping reality. You are creating a higher one. You are aligning your inner world so that your outer world can finally follow. The body heals faster in peace. The heart attracts kindness when it believes it deserves it. The mind opens doors when it stops saying it's too late. And soon a shift begins. Small, quiet moments become evidence of change. The way the sunlight feels warmer, the way a stranger's smile lingers longer, the way your body begins to relax in its own skin. That is life responding to your new conversation. For years, we were taught to repeat our fears, to repeat our limits, to repeat what hurts, but repetition can also heal. Every thought we think, every word we speak, builds the foundation of our future. So if you must repeat something today, let it be love, let it be joy, let it be, this is the best day of my life. Not because everything is perfect, not because the world outside has changed, but because you have chosen to change how you meet it. Every sunrise is a silent promise that life begins again. Every breath is proof that you are capable of renewal, and every word of love you speak to yourself is a step toward the life you deserve. So before this day unfolds, before you check your messages, before you remember your worries, say these 8 sentences. Speak them aloud if you can. Whisper them if you must, but mean them. Because the moment you declare them, life listens. Say them now. Say them again tomorrow. Say them until your mind believes and your heart glows. And when the world asks, "Why are you smiling?" you can simply answer, "Because I finally understand this truly is the best day of my life." There was a time in my life when I could not even say those words. The phrase felt foreign, almost embarrassing, as though love were something reserved for others, but not for me. Yet the moment I decided to whisper them, even timidly, something in me stirred a small sacred spark that had waited all along to be recognized. I love myself is not arrogance. It is the gentle acknowledgement that life cannot bloom through us until we first make peace with who we are. When we begin to love ourselves, truly and without condition, we are not creating something new. We are remembering what has always been. Beneath every judgment, beneath every criticism, there lives a quiet innocence. It is the same innocence you carried as a child before the world told you that you were not enough. You may have spent years believing that you needed to earn your worthiness, that perfection would grant you love. Yet love was never the reward, it was the foundation. Every morning that I looked into the mirror, I used to see my flaws reflected back at me. Wrinkles, regrets, old stories written across my face. But one morning I decided to look deeper. I said to my reflection, "Good morning, dear one, I love you." At first my voice trembled. The words felt unnatural. Yet I continued, because I knew that the voice within me that resisted was the same one that had been longing to hear those words all along. Self-approval is the beginning of transformation. When we say, "I love myself," we are planting the first seed in a garden that will soon grow into peace. The mind softens, the body releases tension, and life begins to respond differently. Every cell in our being listens to our thoughts. Each thought carries instruction. When we send love inward, the body hears, you are safe now. You can rest. You are cherished. Healing begins in that safety. Many of us confuse self-love with vanity. Vanity says, look at me, I am better than others. Self-love whispers, I am part of life's beauty and I honor my place in it. Vanity seeks approval, love grants it. Vanity shouts, love breathes quietly. When I say I love myself, I am not separating from others. I am remembering that we are all facets of one radiant whole. We carry illusions of unworthiness from our earliest days. Perhaps we were told we were too loud, too quiet, too different, too much. Those messages became walls inside us. But every wall can crumble under the soft persistence of love. Each repetition of I love myself chips away at an old belief. Love is the solvent that dissolves every lie about our lack. Healing childhood wounds begins when we become the loving parent we once needed. You can speak to that little child within you, the one who still hides in the corners of your heart, afraid of being seen. Tell them, I am here now. I will protect you. I love you. The past no longer has to define you when your present self becomes the comfort that your younger self longed for. It does not matter how many mistakes you believe you have made. Love does not keep score. It does not say when you achieve more than you are worthy, it says you were worthy all along. Each time you repeat, I love myself, you erase a line of self-condemnation written long ago. You cannot hate yourself into change. Only love transforms. Criticism freezes growth. Approval melts resistance. Begin gently. You do not have to shout your love to the heavens. Whisper it to yourself in the mirror, as you would to a dear friend who is learning to trust again. Say it softly while brushing your hair, while preparing your breakfast, while lying in bed before sleep. The repetition is not a performance, it is remembrance. Each utterance waters the seed until the plant of peace grows tall and strong. The body, too, responds to love. Notice how it feels when you scold yourself compared to when you praise yourself. The shoulders soften, the breath deepens, the heart steadies. Science has its explanations, but I know it as the language of life itself. Life responds to love. When you tell your body, I love you, you are giving it permission to heal. Muscles relax their old armor, the skin glows, the organs work in harmony again. You become an instrument tuned to the frequency of peace. Self-love is divine recognition. It is not the ego admiring itself. It is the soul remembering its source. The divine cannot hate its creation. When I look into the mirror and say, I love myself, I am really saying, I honor the life that made me. This acknowledgement opens the floodgates of grace. Life can only give us what we are willing to receive, and love is the key that unlocks the gate. There is often resistance at first. The mind argues, but you failed, but you hurt someone, but you are not enough. Listen gently and then answer, I am learning, I am growing, I am enough. Love is patient. It does not rush your healing, it waits as long as you need. The miracle is that with every repetition, your resistance weakens not through force, but through tenderness. Saying I love myself is not about denying pain. It is about bringing love to the places that ache. It is the warmth that allows frozen emotions to thaw. When you meet your fear, guilt, or shame with love, they begin to dissolve. They were only calling for attention, not punishment. In loving yourself, you are loving those wounded parts back into wholeness. If you find it difficult to say, I love myself, begin with, I am willing to love myself. That willingness is enough. The door does not have to be flung open. Even a crack of light invites healing. Each time you affirm your readiness, life rushes in to support you. You do not need to know how to love yourself perfectly. Your sincerity is the bridge. Let me tell you this, the smallest act of self-approval creates ripples far beyond what you can see. You will notice subtle changes, how people respond to you, how opportunities seem to arise, how your mood begins to lift without reason. The outer world rearranges itself to reflect your inner agreement with love. What once seemed impossible becomes natural. Relationships soften. The tone of your life becomes gentle, harmonious, trusting, loving yourself. Is the greatest service you can offer the world. When you are kind to yourself, you carry that kindness into every encounter. You speak differently, listen differently, move through the day as a healing presence. You teach by example that peace begins within. The world does not need more perfect people, it needs more loving ones. I have witnessed quiet miracles born from self-love, illnesses easing, anger dissolving, new relationships forming on the foundation of respect. But the greatest miracle is the inner peace that arrives when you no longer make yourself the enemy. When you wake in the morning and your first thought is gentle rather than harsh, you have already changed your life. Make this your daily practice. Each morning, place your hand over your heart, look into your reflection, and say slowly, I love myself. Say it even if you do not feel it. Say it because you wish to feel it. Say it because it is true, even if you have forgotten. In time, it will no longer be a statement you repeat, it will be the quiet truth you live by. The moment you truly believe, I love myself, you begin to vibrate with life's own rhythm. The river of good that once seemed distant begins to flow through you naturally. Doors opened where there were walls. The world looks back at you with the same affection you offer yourself. This is how transformation unfolds, not through striving, but through allowing. When you love yourself, you forgive yourself. You stop demanding perfection from a soul that is simply learning. You laugh more easily. You breathe more deeply. You begin to notice beauty that was always there. That is the quiet miracle of self-acceptance. It turns ordinary moments into blessings. Remember, you are not trying to become someone worthy of love. You are remembering that you have always been loved by life itself. Let those words settle softly into your heart. I am loved. I am lovable. I am love itself. Say them until your breath carries them effortlessly. Say them until silence echoes them back. This is where healing begins, not in effort, but in recognition. You are already whole. You are already enough. And as you love yourself, you awaken to the truth that has waited for you all along. Life loves you. There is a power that beats your heart, that moves your breath without command, that opens the petals of every flower in perfect rhythm. You may not see it, but you are living within it. This unseen intelligence, the one that turns night into morning and seed into blossom, also directs the course of your own life. To trust life is to recognize that you are not a separate traveler in a hostile world, but a part of a magnificent order that knows what it is doing. For so long I believed that safety came from control. I tried to plan every detail to keep myself protected from pain by predicting it, but control is an exhausting prison. The more tightly we grip, the more afraid we become. There came a day when I simply could not force things anymore. I had reached the edge of my own strength. In that surrender, I discovered something astonishing. When I stopped pushing, life carried me. It did not let me fall. It lifted me. Life has an intelligence far greater than our minds can comprehend. It knows when to delay and when to deliver. When we are in resistance, we block the current. When we trust, we flow with it. Think of a river. It does not argue with the stones in its path. It moves around them, wearing them smooth. That is how faith works. When you say, I trust life, you step into that current of ease. and you allow divine order to arrange what once seemed tangled. Trust is not the absence of doubt. It is the decision to move forward despite it. Absence is the voice that whispers, even if I cannot see how, I know I will be guided. Every time you have faced a challenge and somehow survived it, you have proof that life supports you. Look back gently and remember all the times you were carried through what once frightened you. There were unseen hands guiding you, unseen wisdom directing your path. We often confuse trust with passivity, as though to trust means to do nothing. But trust is an active openness. It is a partnership with the unseen. When you trust life, you still take steps, but you no longer take them in fear. You act from a place of peace rather than panic. Your actions become inspired instead of forced. You find yourself meeting the right people, reading the right words, arriving at the right places without needing to struggle for it. Every time you affirm, I trust life to guide me, you loosen the chains of worry. You stop treating the unknown as an enemy. You begin to view it as a friend, one that carries gifts you cannot yet imagine. Worry is faith turned upside down. It is believing in the worst instead of the best. Each time you worry, you send instructions to your mind to expect trouble. But each time you trust, you create space for miracles to enter quietly and naturally. There is an invisible rhythm to existence. Day follows night, tides rise and fall, seasons turn without confusion. If life can sustain planets and stars in perfect order, surely it can handle the unfolding of your days. Every delay has its wisdom, every ending its seed of beginning. What appears as loss may be clearing the way for something higher. What seems like confusion may be the gentle reweaving of your destiny. You do not have to understand everything at once. Understanding often comes later when we look back and say, ah, now I see why that happened. The mind demands explanation, but the heart understands timing. Let go of the need to know and allow the mystery to serve you. Faith is the bridge between confusion and clarity. Say to yourself, even though I do not yet see the path, I trust that life is leading me toward my highest good. There is peace in surrender. Not the surrender of defeat, but of recognition that you are not alone, that there is a current wiser than your will. When you stop fighting what is, you begin to see that what is has always been trying to help you. I have seen this truth in my own healing journey. The moment I stopped resisting, my body began to restore itself. When I trusted life, it guided me to the right books, the right people, the right opportunities. Doubt is natural, but it does not have to rule you. When doubt appears, greet it kindly and say, I see you, but I choose trust. Life does not require your perfect faith. It only asks for your willingness. Even a small willingness opens great doors. Each time you say, I trust life, you strengthen the muscle of faith. It grows with use, just as fear weakens when ignored. Imagine yourself as a leaf on the breeze. The leaf does not argue with the wind. It does not demand to know where it will land. It allows itself to be carried, and in doing so, it experiences the whole sky. This is the freedom trust gives you the ability to travel lightly without the heavy luggage of control. Life is not against you. It never has been. It mirrors your beliefs and meets you at your level of trust. If you believe the world is dangerous, you will find proof of danger. If you believe life is kind, kindness will reveal itself. We live inside our expectation. The moment you affirm, life supports me, the universe rearranges itself to confirm your statement. Sometimes guidance comes quietly. A sudden idea, a chance encounter, a sentence that seems to shine from a page. At other times it comes through loss, through detours that redirect us toward what truly belongs to us. Trusting life means recognizing that every experience has a place in your growth. Nothing is wasted. Every event, no matter how small, serves your awakening. Let go of the need to hurry your healing. Life has perfect timing. You cannot miss what is meant for you, and you cannot hold on to what has completed its purpose. If a door closes, it is because your next one has already been built. The mind panics at endings, but the soul smiles. It knows renewal is coming. When you affirm trust, your body relaxes. The nervous system calms. The breath deepens. You begin to sense an invisible support under your feet. Fear loses its hold. Decisions become clearer. What once felt like chaos begins to show its pattern. You are no longer at war with life. You are dancing with it. You may say, but what if I make the wrong choice? Trust answers. Then life will show you another way. The universe is generous in its guidance. It does not punish errors. It redirects them. You cannot truly fail when your intention is sincere. Every apparent mistake becomes a lesson in wisdom. Every misstep another way home. To trust life is to trust yourself, because you and life are not separate. The same intelligence that grows flowers also beats within you. Each time you breathe, that intelligence says, I am here. Your task is not to control it, but to listen. Stillness reveals more guidance than struggle ever could. Let your prayer be simple. Life, I trust you. Show me what to do next. Then take the smallest step that feels peaceful. That is how life speaks, through peace, not panic. When you follow the quiet, steady feeling of rightness within, you will find yourself guided more perfectly than any plan could provide. Trust does not mean that challenges vanish. It means you face them differently. You no longer see obstacles as punishments, but as teachers. Each difficulty refines you, stretches your faith, and proves the reliability of the unseen hand that guides all things. If today feels uncertain, repeat this truth. I trust life to guide. Say it until the words sink deeper than fear. Let them anchor you like roots beneath the storm. In time, you will look back and see that everything unfolded exactly as it should. You are safe in the rhythm of life. You are carried by an infinite intelligence that knows only love. You do not need to see the whole staircase. Just take one step and the next will appear. That is how life guides the trusting heart. One lighted step at a time, always enough, always right. So breathe deeply, dear one, and whisper once more, I trust life to guide me. Feel the peace that comes when you no longer have to know everything. Feel how the body relaxes into grace. This is the beginning of faith, not in something outside of you, but in the life that lives within you. And as you rest in that trust, remember this, you have never been abandoned. You have only been learning to let go. There were years when I woke up every morning with a quiet tremor inside, a feeling that something might go wrong, though I could not name what it was. That invisible tension followed me through my day, like a shadow-tight shoulders, a racing mind, a heart that forgot how to rest. Then one day, I heard within me the simplest truth, I am safe. I said it again and again, softly at first, then louder, until my body began to believe me. It was as if each cell exhaled in relief, whispering, at last she remembers. Fear has a loud voice, while peace speaks gently. For so long I believed that fear was a sign of awareness, that being afraid kept me vigilant. But fear is not protection, it is paralysis. It fills the body with messages of danger even when no danger is present. The mind becomes a restless guard dog barking at every sound. When we affirm, I am safe and all is well, we quiet that barking and the soul finally hears itself think, Your body listens to every thought you think. When you imagine disaster, your muscles tighten, your breath shortens, your heartbeat quickens. You are preparing for battle against an invisible enemy. But when you begin to affirm safety, the body softens, the breath deepens. The nervous system begins to harmonize with the truth of the moment, which is that right now you are safe. Right now nothing is attacking you. Right now life is quietly supporting you. Safety is not something we find outside of us. It is something we build within. It begins by reclaiming trust in the present. If you are reading these words, then you have already survived every day you thought you couldn't. The storms passed, the nights ended, the tears dried. You are still here. This is proof enough that you are guided and protected by a power far greater than fear. Much of our anxiety is inherited. We learn it from the world around us, from parents who worried, from teachers who warned, from a culture that tells us danger is everywhere. We grow up believing that peace is naive and fear is wisdom. But peace is not blindness. It is clarity. It allows us to respond rather than react. When you affirm, I am safe, you are teaching your body to discern the difference between a real threat and an old memory of one. So many people live as though the past were still happening. The body remembers the panic of old hurts. The mind replays them as if keeping watch could prevent their return. But the past is gone. Its echoes can only touch you if you invite them. Each time you say, I am safe and all is well, you remind your subconscious that the danger is over. You free yourself from the ghost of old alarms. Try this. Place your hand gently over your heart. Feel the steady rhythm beneath your palm. That pulse has never left you. Through every sorrow, every mistake, every sleepless night, it kept beating. It is the song of life itself, whispering you are still here, you are still loved. That is safety. It does not depend on circumstances. It lives within your own being. When fear visits, do not fight it. Fighting fear only feeds it. Instead, meet it with love. Say to it, thank you for trying to protect me, but I am safe now. Fear will soften when it feels heard. It is like a frightened child tugging at your sleeve. It only wants reassurance. You are that reassurance. You are the loving parent who can calm the inner child and say, all is well, sweetheart. Life has us. Some believe that safety is an illusion, that the world is full of threat and chaos. Yet even amidst challenge, safety can exist. It exists in the breath, in the heart, in the still center that cannot be harmed. You may lose possessions, people, or plans, but you cannot lose the self that is aware of all these things. That self, the consciousness that watches, that breathes, is untouched. To rest in that awareness is to find indestructible peace. When you tell your body, I am safe, you give it permission to heal. The immune system strengthens, digestion improves, sleep deepens. The cells work together harmoniously because they are no longer receiving orders to defend. Safety is medicine, anxiety is poison. The body always follows the mind's command, and love is the highest instruction it can receive. There is a profound difference between false alarm and true intuition. Fear imagines endless scenarios. Intuition speaks once and quietly. Fear rushes. Intuition is patient. When you feel uneasy, pause and ask, is this fear or guidance? If it is fear, respond with the affirmation, I am safe. If it is intuition, you will feel calm, clarity, not panic. Learning this distinction is one of the gifts of self-awareness. Many of us have spent years living as though we must always be on guard. We brace ourselves against the next disappointment, the next loss. But bracing blocks joy as well as pain. You cannot receive love with a clenched heart. When you trust that you are safe, your defenses soften and life can finally touch you. You begin to see kindness in places you never noticed before. You relax into conversations, into laughter, into sleep. I once read that peace is not the absence of chaos, but the presence of trust. The storms of life may still come, but when you have peace within, you become the calm center of your own weather. You no longer fear the wind because you know you are rooted in something deeper. Each morning, remind yourself, I'm grounded in peace. No matter what happens around me, I remain steady in love. If your mind argues saying, but look at the world, it's not safe, answer gently, yes, but I create safety within me first. The outer world mirrors the inner one. As you build peace inside, you contribute to peace outside. The vibration of calm spreads naturally. Others feel it, and it soothes them. The more people affirm safety, the more the collective begins to heal. A simple daily ritual can anchor this truth. Before rising from bed, place one hand on your chest and one on your stomach. Breathe slowly and say, I am safe, I am secure, all is well. Repeat it 3 times. Notice how the breath lengthens, how warmth spreads through your body. This is not imagination, it is transformation. You are re-educating every cell to trust life again. Remember, safety is not the promise of a life without challenge. It is the awareness that no challenge can take your inner peace from you. The outer may change, the inner remains whole. That is what all is well truly means. Even in pain there is purpose. Even in endings there is birth. Life's intelligence weaves everything toward good when we let it. If your mind whispers, what if something goes wrong? Reply, what if everything goes right? Both are possibilities, and you are free to choose which one to nurture. The mind that expects safety finds evidence of safety. The mind that expects disaster finds it too. Choose to become a finder of peace. Look for proof that you are guided, protected, and loved. It is everywhere once you begin to notice. Do not underestimate the healing power of a single peaceful thought. One moment of calm can change the chemistry of your entire body. One sincere breath can alter the course of your day. One steady repetition of I am safe can transform years of fear into a moment of grace. Safety grows through practice, through repetition, through love made habitual. You are safe in this moment. You are breathing. You are held by gravity, by air, by unseen intelligence that knows your name without you ever needing to spell it. Life supports you completely. All is well, even when appearances suggest otherwise. Beneath the noise of fear, there is always harmony waiting to be heard. So rest now in that awareness. Let every muscle loosen, every worry soften, every thought slow. Whisper to yourself as I once did, I am safe and all is well. Feel the truth of it ripple through you. Let it become your heartbeat, your anchor, your quiet promise to yourself. For truly beneath every fear, beyond every illusion, all is well. There is a heaviness that many carry without realizing it. It sits behind the smile, beneath the laughter, deep in the body's quiet memory. It is the weight of unfinished stories, of words left unsaid, of pain replayed over and over again. I know this weight. I carried it for years. It seemed safer to hold on to the past than to face the unknown. Yet the day came when I understood the past does not protect you. It only repeats itself until you release it. Releasing the past is not about forgetting. It is about forgiving. Forgiveness does not excuse what happened. It sets you free from what happened. For as long as we cling to resentment, we are bound to the very thing we wish to escape. Every thought of anger ties another knot in the heart, but forgiveness unties them one by one until the heart can finally breathe again. Many of us confuse remembering with reliving. We revisit old wounds as though our pain could change them. We think, if I just understand why, I'll find peace. But peace does not come from explanation, it comes from acceptance. The past has already played its part. Its lesson is complete. To keep replaying it is to stay enrolled in a class you have already passed. When you say, I release the past with ease, you are finally graduating into freedom. In my own life, I had to learn that resentment is poison. It sits in the body like a stone, silent but heavy. My healing began the moment I chose to let go. I remember standing before my mirror, looking at the reflection of the woman who had suffered, and saying, you have done enough grieving, you have done enough blaming, it is time to be free. That moment changed everything. It was not dramatic, but it was final. The chains loosened because I stopped tightening them. Forgiveness is a process of love, not logic. You may never receive an apology from those who hurt you. You may never hear the words you long for, but you can still choose peace. Forgiveness is something you give yourself not because others deserve it, but because you do. You deserve to walk through your days unburdened by yesterday's sorrows. You deserve to wake up and not feel the old ache pulling at your heart. If you find it difficult to forgive, begin by being willing. Say, I am willing to release the past. The willingness is enough to begin the shift. You cannot rush it. You can only invite it. The heart knows how to heal when the mind stops rehearsing the pain. Sometimes forgiveness happens gradually, a little more each morning, when you remember that you no longer want to suffer for what is over. Write a letter you will never send. Pour out every feeling, every disappointment, every anger onto the page. Then bless the letter and let it go. Burn it, bury it, or tear it into pieces while saying, I now release this with love. The act is symbolic, but the release is real. The body responds to ritual because it gives the heart a visible gesture of letting go. When you hold on to the past, you keep its emotions alive. The mind cannot tell the difference between memory and present moment. It relives the same pain again and again. Each repetition strengthens the old belief that you are still wounded. But when you say, I release the past with ease, you begin to write a new instruction to your subconscious. You are telling it, we are safe now. We can rest. We can open again. Sometimes the hardest person to forgive is oneself. We replay our own mistakes and say, if only I had known better. But guilt serves no healing purpose. You did the best you could with the understanding you had then. If you had known better, you would have done better. Self-forgiveness is the highest form of wisdom. It turns regret into compassion. You are not the person who made those choices. You are the one who learned from them. When you release guilt, you make room for grace. Grace does not need perfection. It needs openness. Life cannot fill a clenched fist. You must open your hand, your heart, your mind to receive new good. The past cannot leave until you stop clinging to it. Let it go gently, the way a leaf releases the tree when its season is done. Nothing is lost. Everything returns in another form. You may fear that letting go means losing part of yourself. But you are not your story. You are the consciousness that lived through it. You are the witness that watched, learned, and grew. Every painful experience brought you wisdom, strength, and compassion. You do not need to hold the pain to keep the lesson. The lesson is already within you. I often tell people you cannot clean your house while holding on to the trash. The same is true for the mind. To invite joy in, you must clear out resentment. To make space for love, you must release judgment. To welcome peace, you must let go of control. The act of release is not loss, it is preparation. Life cannot fill what is already full of yesterday. Perhaps there is someone you have sworn never to forgive. Maybe you say, they don't deserve it. But consider this, Forgiveness is not for them, it is for you. As long as you hold them in chains of resentment, you remain bound as well. When you forgive, you cut both of you free. You do not need to reconcile, you only need to release. Say softly, I let you go, and I set myself free. Each time you release a piece of the past, you will feel lighter, your body will breathe easier, colors will seem brighter. Life will begin to feel possible again. You will find yourself smiling without reason, laughing without effort. This is what it feels like when the heart returns to innocence. Releasing the past does not mean nothing matters. It means you no longer let it rule your present. It means you can remember without hurting. It means the lesson remains, but the wound is closed. It means peace has taken the place of pain. That is true healing. Not erasing, but transforming. Try a simple practice each evening. Before you sleep, say aloud, whatever I carried today that no longer serves me, I now release with ease. Imagine the day's burdens dissolving into light. See them leaving your body, floating away, returning to the earth for renewal. You will sleep more deeply, and you will wake with more space in your heart. Remember, letting go is not a one-time act. It is a gentle way of living. Each day, you can choose freedom again. Each morning you can say, yesterday is done, today is new. That is what life is always whispering. Begin again. And when you listen, you become new with it. There is peace waiting beneath the ashes of every old hurt. There is joy beneath the grief, love beneath the loss, wisdom beneath the pain. When you release the past, you uncover the treasures it hid. That is why we can release it with ease, not because it never mattered, but because it already gave us everything it could. So breathe deeply now. Picture yourself standing in sunlight, the weight of old years slipping off your shoulders. Feel how light you are when you are not dragging yesterday behind you. Say softly, I release the past with ease. And as you say it, feel the truth of it move through your entire being. The chains dissolve, the heart opens, and you are free. For this is the miracle of release. The moment you let go, life rushes in to fill the space with peace. And you realize at last you were never meant to carry the past forever. You were meant to live. Each morning when I open my eyes, I remember this is a day that has never been lived before. The sun may rise in the same sky, but the light is new, the air is new, the possibilities are new. Gratitude is how I greet the miracle of beginning again. It is my way of saying to life, I see you, I appreciate you, I am ready to be in harmony with you today. There was a time when I woke and immediately thought of all I lacked, all I feared, all that had not yet changed. My first thoughts were not of thanks, but of burden. I began the day by preparing for disappointment. It is no wonder I found it everywhere. What we focus on expands. When we start the morning by naming our troubles, we multiply them. But when we begin with gratitude, we invite life to show us reasons to be thankful. Gratitude is the quickest path to joy because it shifts attention from what is missing to what is already here. It does not deny difficulty, it simply chooses to honor the good that exists alongside it. You cannot be miserable and grateful in the same moment. One cancels the other. Gratitude transforms ordinary breath into a prayer. It turns routine into reverence. When I say I am grateful for this new day, I am not saying everything is perfect. I am saying I am open to seeing the perfection that already exists. Gratitude softens the eyes so that beauty can enter. It changes how you look at the world and the spore. World responds by offering more to see. Life is generous to those who appreciate it. Try it for yourself. Before you rise, take a single breath and name 3 blessings. They do not have to be grand, your pillow, your heartbeat, the warmth of the sun through your window. Let each one be enough. Gratitude does not require abundance, it creates it. The moment you recognize a gift, you attract another. The law of increase is simple. What you praise expands. I have seen people transform their entire lives through gratitude alone. They did not win the lottery or escape their challenges. They simply began to notice what was good. A woman once told me she started each morning by saying, "Thank you, bed, for supporting me. Thank you, air, for filling my lungs. Thank you, hands, for all you do." Within months, her health improved, her mood lifted, and even her relationship softened. Gratitude had realigned her vibration with life's abundance. When you feel empty, gratitude fills you. When you feel lost, gratitude gives you direction. It grounds you in the present moment and reminds you that you are already surrounded by love in countless forms. The food you eat, the water you drink, the breath that sustains you, all are evidence of life's endless giving. There are mornings when gratitude may feel far away. Perhaps grief sits beside your bed. Perhaps pain wakes before you do. In those moments, gratitude is not about pretending to be happy. It is about finding one small light in the darkness and focusing there. Say, "I am grateful for my courage to face this day." Even the willingness to begin is something to thank. Gratitude grows stronger with use. It becomes your constant companion when you practice it in all seasons. The difference between forced gratitude and heartfelt recognition is sincerity. Forced gratitude says, "I should be thankful." True gratitude says, "I am aware of the gift in this." It cannot be manufactured by obligation. It must rise from awareness. Awareness reveals that even the smallest things, raindrops on a window, a stranger's kindness, a bird's song, are silent blessings placed gently along your path. Sometimes I walk through my home and whisper, "Thank you" to everything I see. The floor that supports me, the walls that shelter me, the chair that holds me. This simple act transforms the space into a temple of appreciation. Life responds to that vibration. The things you bless, bless you back. Gratitude turns your surroundings into allies in your joy. The more you thank life, the more reasons it gives you to be thankful. This is not superstition, it is alignment. Gratitude tunes your awareness to abundance. Where once you saw lack, you begin to see plenty. Where once you felt resistance, you begin to feel flow. Life cannot give to a closed heart. Gratitude opens it wide. When you are grateful, even challenges begin to reveal hidden gifts. A disappointment might teach patience. A loss might deepen compassion. A delay might protect you from what was not meant for you. Gratitude transforms problems into teachers and detours into redirections. When you say, "I am grateful for this day," you are not just celebrating what is easy. You are inviting wisdom from what is difficult. The body, too, responds to gratitude. It releases calming chemicals, balances the heart rhythm, and strengthens immunity. A grateful mind creates a peaceful body. That is why I call gratitude a spiritual vitamin. It nourishes every part of you. Let this practice become your morning prayer before the mind begins to list tasks, before you remember yesterday's worries. Whisper, "Thank you for this new day." Let it be the first language your heart speaks. Gratitude is not about what you have, it is about how you see. And when you see through thankful eyes, life becomes radiant. Even the simplest moments, pouring tea, hearing laughter, feeling the air on your face become holy when touched by gratitude. You begin to see that everything conspires to support your well-being. The universe is not indifferent, it is responsive. Every thank you you offer sends ripples of light outward and draws more beauty inward. If you ever struggle to find something to be thankful for, start with the gift of breath. It is the bridge between you and life itself. You did not earn it. You cannot control it. It comes freely, moment after moment. Each breath is proof of divine generosity. Each breath is a new beginning. Gratitude changes not only how you feel, but who you become. A grateful person is magnetic, peaceful, radiant. Others feel safe in your presence because gratitude erases complaint. It allows joy to rise naturally, like sunlight returning after a long night. Gratitude and love are twin energies. They feed one another endlessly. As you walk through this day, notice what is working instead of what isn't. Notice the light, the colors, the warmth of another's voice. Whisper thanks often. Do it not as a duty, but as a joy. You will find that gratitude creates miracles quietly, constantly, without effort. Tonight when you lie down, let your final thought be, thank you for this day. No matter what it held, success or struggle, bless it. Tomorrow will come bearing new possibilities, and gratitude will greet them like an old friend. So, my dear one, take a deep breath right now and feel the air enter your lungs. Say gently, I am grateful for this new day. Feel how those words soften the world around you. The sky seems kinder, the heart lighter, the path clearer. For in truth, every day, every breath, every moment is a reason to give thanks. And when gratitude becomes your way of seeing, you will understand you have been living in a garden all along, and it blooms the instant you say thank you. There was a time when I thought miracles were rare, reserved for saints and sacred stories. But as I began to heal, I saw that miracles are the natural rhythm of life. They are not interruptions of the ordinary. They are the ordinary seen clearly. Each sunrise, each heartbeat, each act of forgiveness is a miracle. What keeps us from seeing them is not their absence, but our closed eyes. When I say I am open to miracles, I am really saying I am willing to see truth again. Miracles are not earned. They are revealed when we stop doubting that we deserve them. Life is always ready to give. It is we who must learn to receive. For so long I believed that blessings belonged to others that I had to struggle to be worthy of grace. But grace is not a prize for good behavior. It is the natural inheritance of every living being. The moment you open your heart, it rushes in, just as sunlight enters any room that allows it. To be open to miracles is to live with expectancy rather than demand. Expectancy says, I trust that good is on its way. Demand says, it must happen my way and my time. Life listens to energy, not insistence. When you soften your will and say, I am open, you create space for grace to move. The universe can only place gifts in open hands. Sometimes miracles look like gentle shifts, peace where there was tension, a smile after long sorrow, an opportunity that arrives just when you were ready to give up. They rarely come with thunder or flash. Most often they enter quietly, disguised as ordinary kindness. The more you expect them, the more clearly you see them. Life responds to faith like a seed responds to rain. When I healed my body, I did not make a miracle happen. I simply stopped resisting the one that had been trying to reach me all along. I began each day with the words, I am open to healing. I am open to good. I nourished myself with forgiveness and faith. My cells listened. My body obeyed. Life cannot flow through fear, but it rushes through faith. Miracles are not forced. They unfold in the soil of trust. The mind often asks, but how will it happen? The heart answers, it will. Miracles are life's language of love, not logic. They do not need your understanding. They need your permission. Doubt is a closed door. Openness is the key. Each time you say, I am open to miracles, you turn that key and allow divine intelligence to enter your life without interference. Think of all the things that once seemed impossible to you, wounds you thought would never heal, griefs you believed would never fade, fears you thought would never loosen their grip. Yet here you are, breathing, learning, growing. These are miracles already fulfilled. Let them remind you that more are on their way. The unseen realm is always working for your good. Just because you cannot see the roots does not mean the tree is not growing. Just because the dawn is hidden does not mean the sun has vanished. So often, the miracle begins long before we notice it. Life rearranges circumstances, nudges hearts, clears paths in silence. Then one morning, what you prayed for simply appears as natural as breath, and you call it sudden. But it was being prepared all along. When we disbelieve, we block that preparation. Disbelief is not humility, it is fear in disguise. It says, I do not trust that life loves me enough. But life loves you endlessly. It cannot withhold what you are willing to receive. The question is never whether miracles exist, but whether you are willing to see them. A miracle does not have to be grand to be holy. It can be as simple as laughter returning after years of silence. It can be peace in the heart of chaos. It can be forgiveness where bitterness once grew. Miracles are not measured by size, but by shift. Every time your mind moves from fear to love, you are witnessing one. Try saying this when you wake. I am open to miracles today. I do not need to know how they come or what form they take. I only know that good is on its way. Feel how that statement relaxes your body. Notice how the air around you seems lighter. This is alignment. You have just opened the window, and the breeze of life can finally move through you. Life never stops sending signs. A song may play just when you need comfort. A friend may call at the perfect moment. A solution may appear in a dream. These are not coincidences, they are communications from the universe reminding you that you are guided. The more you acknowledge them, the more they multiply. Gratitude keeps the current flowing. There will be days when miracles seem impossible, days when you see only loss or pain. Those are the days to say the sentence most firmly. Say it even with trembling lips, I am open to miracles. The power of that declaration lies not in proof, but in willingness. Even a sliver of willingness invites transformation. Remember, life does not need your belief to function. The sun will rise whether you expect it or not, but when you open your eyes to it, you receive its warmth. So it is with grace. The more you look for good, the more you feel it, and the more life can mirror it back to you. Sometimes a miracle is simply seeing the same world with new vision. You wake up and the light seems softer. The people you meet seem kinder. The burdens you carried yesterday suddenly feel lighter. Nothing outside has changed, only your perception has healed. That shift is a holy event. Real miracles occur when we stop trying to make life obey us and begin to cooperate with it. When you release your timeline, your plan, your insistence, you give space for divine timing. Everything arrives when it is ready, not when you are impatient. Trust that timing. It is never late. To live open to miracles is to live with humility and wonder. It is to recognize that you are part of something vast, loving, and wise. You may not see the pattern yet, but it is being woven with precision and care. Every thread, joyful or painful, belongs to a tapestry more beautiful than you can. Tonight, before you sleep, whisper this: miracles flow through my life freely and easily. I welcome them in every form. You do not have to name them. Life already knows what to send. Your only task is to stay open, to keep the heart unguarded, the mind curious, the spirit expectant. When you live in openness, everything becomes sacred. The smallest moments sparkle. Strangers become messengers. Delays become protection. Every breath becomes a promise that something beautiful is unfolding. So now, take a breath and let these words rest softly on your heart. I am open to miracles. Feel the world around you begin to shift in response. You have just given life permission to surprise you with its goodness. Let it. There was a time when I could walk through a garden and see only the weeds. My eyes, trained by worry and judgment, passed over the blooms and went straight to what was wrong. It was not the garden that lacked beauty, it was my vision that had forgotten how to see. When I began to heal, I discovered that beauty was never absent. It was only waiting for my permission to be noticed. The moment I said, "I see beauty everywhere," the world transformed before me, though it had not changed at all. Beauty is not decoration, it is revelation. It reveals the presence of life in every form. It is the quiet intelligence that shapes clouds, the rhythm of breath, the curve of a smile. When we decide to see beauty, we are not inventing it, we are aligning with the natural order of love that creates it. Life itself is beautiful, but our eyes must be trained to look through love, to perceive it. Seeing beauty is a spiritual practice. It is the choice to look for harmony rather than flaw, to find light even in shadow. When we make this choice, we heal the lens through which we see the world. We stop being critics and become witnesses. Judgment contracts the heart. Appreciation expands it. The more beauty you see, the more beauty appears, for perception is creation. Each morning I walk outside and whisper, "Thank you, life, for showing me beauty today." Then I allow my gaze to soften. The play of sunlight on leaves becomes a lesson in grace. The laughter of a child becomes music. Even a cracked sidewalk, glistening after rain, becomes an artful mosaic. The world has always been this lovely, only now do I have the eyes to see it. We often believe beauty belongs only to the perfect, to youth, to wealth, to symmetry. But real beauty lives in authenticity. It shines through wrinkles earned by laughter, in eyes that have known sorrow and still sparkle with kindness. Beauty does not hide in flawlessness, it reveals itself in truth. When you see through love's eyes, everything is included. Seeing beauty everywhere also means seeing it in yourself. Stand before your mirror and say softly, "There is beauty here." It is not vanity, it is vision. The body is the house of your soul. The lines, the curves, the colors, all are brush strokes of divine art. When you bless what you see, you stop fighting the miracle of your own existence. Your body responds with gratitude. It glows from the inside out. Beauty is healing medicine. It lifts the spirit, balances the emotions, restores faith. When you are weary, look for something beautiful, a flower, a sound, a memory, and rest your attention there. You will feel your breath deepen, your shoulders lower. The mind cannot stay anxious when it is praising life. Beauty brings the nervous system into harmony because it reconnects you with wonder. Depression and fatigue often arise from blindness to beauty. We stop noticing the gifts around us and the world grows gray. But the color never left it waits for our awareness. Begin simply. Notice the play of light on your hands, the warmth of a cup between your palms, the rhythm of your own breathing. Each is a doorway back into the living miracle. There is beauty even in impermanence. The falling leaf, the aging face, the fading sunset all teach us to love without clinging. When we see beauty in endings, we stop fearing change. We understand that decay and renewal are parts of the same divine dance. Everything is always becoming something else, and that transformation itself is beautiful. To see beauty everywhere is to participate in creation. Each appreciative thought is a brush stroke on the canvas of the world. When you bless what you see, you amplify it. A kind word beautifies another's day. A smile transforms the air between you. The more you recognize beauty, the more you contribute to it. There are days when beauty seems hidden, when the world feels harsh or gray. In those moments, do not look far. Close your eyes and go inward. There, beneath the noise of thought, is the stillness that gave birth to every star. That stillness is beauty in its purest form. When you touch it within, you will begin to recognize it without. Life mirrors your gaze. If you look through complaint, you will find fault. If you look through love, you will find wonder. You are always training life how to appear by how you choose to see. So train your mind in appreciation. Make it your habit to say, this too is beautiful. Say it when the rain falls, when the traffic slows, when plans change. You will discover that peace hides behind every inconvenience. Once, a woman told me she could not find beauty in her life because she lived in a noisy city. I asked her to look for one thing each day that pleased her eyes or heart. A week later, she returned radiant. She had seen color in street murals, tenderness in strangers helping each other, poetry in the rhythm of passing trains. Beauty had not arrived newly, it had been there, waiting to be noticed. When you begin to see beauty everywhere, you begin to live in heaven while still on earth. Heaven is not a distant realm, it is a way of seeing. It is the awareness that every moment, every object, every face contains the spark of the divine. To see beauty is to recognize God in all things. Let this sentence become your daily vision. I see beauty everywhere. Say it as you step outside, as you walk, as you work. Allow it to open your senses. Notice the patterns of color, the softness of sound, the kindness in eyes you meet. The more beauty you see, the more grateful you become, and gratitude always calls forth more good. When we see beauty, we stop trying to fix everything. We learn to love things as they are. And in that acceptance, true change happens naturally. The heart that sees beauty cannot hate, cannot harm. It becomes a sanctuary of peace. So today, my dear one, look around and let your gaze rest gently on the world. Find beauty in what is near, in what is plain, in what is broken. Whisper to yourself, I see beauty everywhere. Feel how those words brighten the air around you. You are not imagining it. Beauty responds to being seen. The outer world mirrors the inner one. The more you see beauty within, the more beauty reveals itself without. You become a living blessing, walking through the world as proof that grace is not distant. It is visible wherever eyes of love are open. And when you learn to see beauty everywhere, you will realize the secret truth. Beauty was never hiding from you. It was waiting for you to stop hiding from it. There is a sacred power in declaring joy before the world gives you a reason. When I first began to say, this is the best day of my life, it felt almost foolish. My mind argued, but look at what's wrong. Yet something deeper in me whispered, say it anyway. And so I did, again and again, until my heart began to believe the words. Slowly, life itself began to rise to meet them. When we declare that this day is the best, we are not pretending that everything is perfect. We are choosing to meet life from the highest vibration we can. We are saying, I will not wait for circumstances to change before I allow myself to feel joy. Joy is not a prize at the end of struggle. It is the fuel that carries us through it. The moment we affirm that today is blessed, we begin to create the evidence for it. Every day becomes the best day when we realize it is the only one we truly have. Yesterday has gone to rest, and tomorrow has not yet breathed. All power, all healing, all love exists here in this moment. This is where life meets you. This is where creation happens. To call this day the best is to awaken fully to now, to the miracle that is already unfolding. The difference between perfection and presence is simple. Perfection demands, presence receives. When you are present, everything you once longed for is suddenly enough. The light is softer, the air sweeter, the faces around you kinder. You notice details that went unseen when you were lost in thought. Joy begins to rise naturally, like sunlight warming a quiet field. You do not have to earn a good day. You only have to recognize it. The sky above you, the breath within you, the heart still beating its rhythm of faith, these are enough reasons to call this the best day. Each morning that you awaken is a new invitation to begin again, to think a new thought, to forgive one more time, to love more freely. Life renews itself through your willingness to see its beauty. Say the sentence aloud now. This is the best day of my life. Feel the words settle in your body. Notice how your posture shifts, how your breath deepens. The cells of your being respond instantly to the tone of your thought. They awaken, they harmonize, they glow. Life listens to every declaration, and this one carries the energy of creation. You are not describing reality, you are shaping it. When you say, this is the best day, you are teaching your mind to look for evidence of joy instead of reasons for complaint. The same world appears differently to a grateful eye. The challenges remain, but they lose their sharpness. The noise of worry softens into background music. You begin to see how much is working, how much is supporting you, how much is quietly good. Even the smallest things, sunlight on your face, the taste of water, the sound of laughter, become proof that life is kind. The best day is not made by grand events, but by small recognitions. It is built moment by how you choose to think. The day you decide to bless each moment is the day your life becomes holy. There will be mornings when your mind resists. It will say, how can this be the best day when I am in pain? In those moments, answer gently, because I am still here, because I can still love, because life still breathes me. The best day does not mean the easiest day. It means the most awake, the most willing, the most open to grace. When you begin to live as though each day is the best, you stop postponing happiness. You no longer say, I'll be happy when. You realize that joy does not arrive after achievement. It flows from alignment. You can smile now. You can bless now. You can love now. Nothing is missing that cannot be found in this breath. Make it a morning ritual. Before you rise, place your hand over your heart and say, this is the best day of my life. Do not look outside your window for confirmation. Create it within. The moment you say it, you set a spiritual law in motion. Life begins to reorganize itself to match your declaration. People smile back, delays ease, peace follows you like sunlight moving with your steps. There is a magic that comes from praising the day before it unfolds. You are telling life, I trust you, I expect good. And life, being faithful, responds in kind. When you walk through your hours with this attitude, even ordinary moments shine. The sound of rain becomes music, the rhythm of work becomes meditation, and every encounter becomes a chance to give and receive love. This day becomes the best when you decide to participate in it fully, to notice, to forgive quickly, to express kindness freely. You do not wait for something remarkable. You make the ordinary remarkable by how you see it. The miracle is not that everything goes your way, but that you find peace whatever way it goes. As the hours pass, remind yourself, I'm living in the best day of my life. Say it when you eat, when you walk, when you speak. Let it be your quiet prayer. The sentence has power because it keeps you anchored in gratitude. Gratitude is not passive. It transforms the present into a gift. Each time you say the words, you unwrap the moment and find beauty inside. And when evening comes, pause for a moment before sleep. Reflect on all the ways life blessed you today. Some will be small, perhaps a kind word, a moment of laughter, a glimpse of sky. Others may be unseen, blessings, troubles that never arrived, burdens quietly lifted. Whisper, thank you. This truly was the best day of my life. In that peaceful state, you prepare your heart for another miracle tomorrow. If you live long enough in this awareness, you will discover something extraordinary. Every day can be the best day because life is not measured in events, but in presence. When you are present, you live fully. When you live fully, you love wholly. And when you love wholly, every day becomes sacred. So take this sentence into your heart and make it your compass. This is the best day of my life. Let it guide your steps, shape your tone, soften your gaze. Speak it in the morning light and again beneath the stars. Let it be your song of faith, your declaration of gratitude, your promise to life that you are willing to see its perfection. Because when you decide that this moment, this breath, this sunrise is the best, life rushes to prove you right. The world begins to mirror your joy. And you realize that heaven was never somewhere to go, it was something to see. This, my dear one, is the best day of your life. And the miracle is, tomorrow will be too. Close your eyes for just a moment. Take a deep breath, the kind that reaches all the way into your belly, and let it out slowly. You don't have to fix anything right now. You don't have to understand how healing happens. You only need to be willing to believe that change can begin with a single thought. You may not realize it yet, but your mind is the most powerful healing instrument you will ever possess. Every day it repeats thousands of quiet sentences. Some nourish, most wound, and every one of them shapes the way your body feels, the way your heart responds, the way your life unfolds. We've been taught to believe that healing is something that happens to us, that we must earn it, chase it, or wait for it. The power to heal does not live in hospitals, pills, or other people. It begins in thought. In the instant you decide to think differently about yourself, you invite every cell of your body to begin anew. You might say, but how could one thought possibly heal everything? Because one loving thought has the power to end the war inside you. The moment you choose a thought of peace instead of judgment, your heartbeat slows. The moment you say, I am safe now, your muscles release. The moment you whisper, I am willing to forgive, your immune system begins to awaken. That is not imagination, it is law. The mind speaks and the body obeys. You may have carried pain for years, chronic illness, heartache, regret. You may have tried everything, medicine, diets, books, distractions. But none of it can truly heal until you make peace with your own thoughts. Because what the mind resists, the body remembers. And what the mind forgives, the body releases. This one thought can heal everything. I am willing to love myself. Not I already love myself, not I know how, just I am willing. That willingness is the door. The moment you open it, light begins to enter. It doesn't matter how long you've been hurting. It doesn't matter how deep the wound goes. The body responds to love the way a flower responds to sunlight. It cannot help but turn toward it. Louise once said, every thought we think is creating our future. If your thoughts have been filled with fear, your future will echo that fear. If your thoughts become filled with love, your future becomes bright with healing. Think of it this way. Each time you say something kind to yourself, you are sending a new instruction to every cell. You are saying, it's safe to relax, it's safe to heal, it's safe to live. You might not feel it immediately, that's all right. Healing is not a race, it's a remembering. Your body has been waiting patiently for you to speak gently to it again. So let's begin right now. Take another breath. Feel your shoulders soften. Place your hand over your heart and say quietly, I am willing to love myself. Say it again slowly. Let the words become music instead of meaning. The mind may argue. The old beliefs may rise to shout, no, you're not. That's fine. Let them speak and let them pass. The truth is deeper than the noise. You see, love is not a reward for perfection. It is medicine for the wounded parts of you. It is the gentle voice that says, I know you tried, I know you did your best, and it's enough. When you think that one loving thought long enough, it becomes a vibration that heals not only your body but your entire life. Relationships soften, opportunities appear. The mirror begins to show a face at peace. You begin to notice that the world around you changes. People smile more. Help arrives more easily. The same streets feel lighter under your feet, because the outer world is only ever reflecting the inner one. The miracle is not that love heals. The miracle is that we forget how simple it is. We spend years searching for answers outside ourselves when the quiet truth has always been inside us. What you think, you become. And the moment you think love, you become love. You do not have to master every affirmation. You do not have to meditate for hours. You do not have to be perfect. You simply have to begin with one thought that honors who you truly are. Let this be your beginning. I am willing to love myself. Repeat it when you wake. Repeat it when you feel pain. Repeat it when fear whispers its old stories. And each time, notice how the body listens. Notice how peace begins to hum underneath your skin. The mind says, it can't be this easy. But the heart knows it always was. Because healing is not about doing more. It's about remembering the truth. You were never broken. You were only believing thoughts that told you so. Change the thought, and the pain loses its story. Change the thought, and the body begins to rest. Change the thought, and life itself rearranges to serve your peace. So right now, before you move on, before you return to the world outside, take one final breath. Feel the stillness at the center of it. Feel how that stillness is you. And from that quiet space, say it once more with devotion, I am willing to love myself. Because that one thought, spoken with sincerity, felt with tenderness, has the power to heal everything. Every experience you will ever have begins as a single thought. Before the word is spoken, before the body acts, before the event appears, there is a thought. Thought is the blueprint upon which all life is drawn. And the most wonderful thing about this truth is that you are the architect. You design each moment with the quality of your thinking. If you wish to change your world, you need only begin with one thought, one new idea that points toward love. When I first learned this, I was astonished at its simplicity. Could it truly be that what I think shapes what I see? Yet the evidence was all around me. When I entertained fearful thoughts, my body tightened, my days felt gray, and everything seemed to resist me. When I chose a gentle, approving thought, perhaps things are working out after all the very air around me softened. The same world, the same body, a different thought, and therefore a different experience. Each thought is a seed. We cannot harvest peace if we are planting criticism. We cannot gather joy if we scatter worry. The garden of the mind requires daily care. If you plant seeds of resentment, they will grow, shading out the blossoms of harmony. But when you plant thoughts of kindness, patience, and self-approval, life answers with abundance. It has no choice. It always mirrors the mind that created it. Fearful thoughts and loving thoughts each create their own world. Fear tightens, love expands. Fear isolates, love connects. Fear says something is wrong. Love says all is well. Every time you choose between these two voices, you are shaping the direction of your healing. The body hears every word, and the universe responds accordingly. Resistance to new ideas keeps old pain alive. Many people cling to familiar suffering because it feels safe. It is known. But the moment you open to a new thought, healing begins to flow. Openness is the door through which miracles enter. You do not need to know how healing will come, only that it can. The mind cannot receive fresh truth while defending old wounds. Let your willingness dissolve the defense, and life will rush in to renew you. One loving thought can end years of inner struggle. You may think it must take decades to undo decades of hurt, but time has nothing to do with it. Healing happens in the instant of decision, the moment you truly say, I am willing to see this differently. In that instant, a new frequency is born within you. It hums quietly through your being, rearranging everything in its path. The mind is like a faithful servant. It believes what it is told. If you tell it that you are unworthy, it will gather evidence of that unworthiness. If you tell it that you are learning to love yourself, it will look for proof of progress. Every thought gives instruction to the life force within you. That is why healing must begin in thought before it can manifest in body or circumstance. The outer world cannot change until the inner script is rewritten. There comes a sacred moment, a quiet revolution, when you decide to believe in love instead of fear. It may not be a loud or dramatic moment. It may happen while washing dishes, walking outdoors, or sitting alone. Suddenly you think, perhaps I could love myself a little more today. That single thought is enough. It sets the universe in motion. The mind relaxes, the body sighs, and the heart opens just a fraction wider. That is the beginning of healing. When you say, I am willing to love myself, you are not claiming perfection, you are claiming possibility. You are saying, I may not know how to love myself yet, but I am open to learning. Willingness is the bridge between pain and peace. It is the soft door that leads from darkness into light. You do not force it open, you allow it to open. Thought is not an idle habit, it is the creative power of life itself. The universe takes every thought you think and says, so be it. It does not argue, it simply reflects. That is why loving thoughts are sacred. They align you with divine law. Every time you choose a thought of love, you are cooperating with the highest intelligence of the universe. Let us practice together. Take a slow breath and whisper, I am willing. Feel how simple those words are, how gentle. You are not declaring mastery. You are inviting grace. You are saying yes to the possibility of ease, yes to the idea that you deserve kindness, yes to the notion that life can be friendly. Repeat it again, I am willing. Allow it to echo through you like a song without melody. The mind may argue, let it. You are speaking to something deeper, the part of you that already remembers love. Each repetition waters that memory. Each breath strengthens its root. Now notice how your body feels when you think these words. The shoulders drop, the breath lengthens, the chest warms. This is what healing feels like in its earliest form. It is not dramatic, it is natural. The body responds instantly to any thought of peace. From this simple willingness, 1,000 miracles can unfold. The mind that once attacked now begins to comfort. The heart that once closed begins to trust. The world that once seemed cruel begins to soften. And all of it began with one thought, one quiet, sincere willingness to love. Remember, you do not need to change every thought today. You need only to plant one new seed. Thoughts multiply according to their kind. Plant one seed of love, and tomorrow there will be 2, the next day 4. Soon the garden of your mind will be blooming with peace, and the fragrance will fill every corner of your life. Say it once more, softly, I am willing. Feel the calm that follows. That is the power that creates worlds moving through you. That is the thought that begins all healing. The body is always listening. Every cell, every breath, every beat of your heart hears the conversation of your mind. It does not argue, it does not reason, it does not delay, it obeys. The body is the most loyal servant you will ever have. It reflects your thoughts faithfully, moment by moment, turning invisible beliefs into visible sensation. When the mind says, I am tired, the body slows. When the mind says, I am safe, the body relaxes. It is that simple and that sacred. Most of us have been taught to see the body as a separate, mysterious machine that sometimes works against us. But the body does not betray, it communicates. Every ache, every tightness, every flutter is a message. When the body whispers through discomfort, it is saying something in your thinking is asking for love. The mind resists, the body remembers, and together they call for harmony. You may not realize how quickly thought becomes flesh. Think of a fearful moment. The heart races, the breath shortens, the stomach tightens. That is thought transforming into chemistry within seconds. Now think of a loving moment. Your face softens, the shoulders drop, warmth spreads through your chest. This too is thought becoming matter. The body is the stage where every idea you entertain plays out its story. Fearful thoughts create tension, fatigue, illness, not because the body is weak, but because it is responsive. It mirrors what it is told. If you feed it worry, it will contract to protect you. If you feed it peace, it will expand to support you. The muscles will ease, the digestion will calm, the heartbeat will steady. Every organ is eager to serve your happiness. It only waits for instruction. Criticism, guilt, and resentment are forms of inner violence. They are sharp edges of thought that cut the delicate tissues of peace. The body cannot thrive under such attack. It defends itself the only way it knows, through pain, through fatigue, through dis-ease. These symptoms are not punishments, they are requests for love. When you stop attacking yourself in thought, the body stops defending itself in pain. The most healing thought you can ever offer your body is simple. It's safe to relax. Say it now and feel how your breath changes. Feel how your jaw loosens, how your spine lengthens, how the muscles sigh with relief. Every time you think it's safe to heal, you give the body permission to return to its natural rhythm. The body's default state is wellness. Illness is only prolonged tension. Release the tension and wellness returns like the tide. The body listens to love the way a flower listens to sunlight. It opens. It moves toward warmth. It does not ask for explanation. It simply responds. This is why loving thoughts are medicine. They restore circulation where criticism has constricted it. They balance hormones where fear has disturbed them. They improve digestion where guilt has soured it. Every affectionate thought toward yourself sends a message to the body. You are cared for. You are safe. You can rest. Begin speaking to your body as a trusted friend rather than a machine to be fixed. Instead of saying, you never cooperate, try. Thank you for all you do for me. When your body feels tired, say, you've carried me well today. Let's rest. When it aches, say, I hear you. I am listening. This dialogue changes everything. You move from frustration to partnership, from blame to gratitude. Healing is always a conversation, never a command. The body does not punish, it communicates. Every symptom is a form of language, a note from the deeper self asking for attention. If you respond with irritation, the message grows louder. If you respond with love, the message resolves. A headache might be asking for forgiveness. A stiff neck might be asking for flexibility in thought. A sore throat might be asking for honesty. When you listen lovingly, the body need not shout. I once met a woman whose back pain had persisted for years. She had tried every treatment without relief. When I asked what she felt burdened by, tears welled in her eyes. She realized she had been carrying guilt from a long past mistake. The moment she chose to forgive herself, the pain began to ease. The body had been waiting for that release. It did not need a cure, it needed kindness. Love is the natural medicine of the body. Fear is its toxin. Every thought either nourishes or starves you. Imagine that your thoughts are drops of water feeding a garden. Which do you wish to pour into your soil, poison or purity? Choose love consciously and watch your vitality return. Choose approval and notice how the body straightens, how the breath deepens, how the eyes brighten. The body responds instantly to the frequency of affection. Breathe now and silently tell your body, I am listening. Then imagine sending light through your breath into every part of yourself, your heart, your hands, your stomach, your feet. Let the light say you are safe. Let it say you are loved. This is not imagination, it is communication. The cells respond to these messages as surely as a child responds to being spoken to kindly. You might find this thought comforting. The body and the mind are never at odds. They are lovers, not enemies. The body longs to express the harmony of the mind, and the mind longs to rest in the peace of the body. Together they create the music of your life. When one is wounded, the other can heal it through love. Forgiveness restores this natural rhythm. Each time you release anger or blame, the body exhales. The breath of forgiveness sweeps through the system like a fresh wind through an old house. It clears stale emotions, softens tissues, restores clarity. The body does not need complicated instruction, only the thought of peace. And peace begins the moment you stop arguing with yourself. So take one more breath. Feel the air move through you like a river of light. Whisper these words with tenderness. My body listens to kind thoughts. It is safe for me to relax. It is safe for me to heal. Repeat them until they become part of your heartbeat. Each time you do, the cells rejoice. They recognize their true language, the language of love. And in that quiet communication between mind and body, healing begins not as a miracle from outside, but as the natural response of life to being spoken to kindly. For most of our lives, we have lived with a voice in our heads that does not belong to love. It is a voice that comments, compares, criticizes. It tells us what we should have done, what we failed to do, and what we must become to finally be worthy. It speaks in the tones of the past, a parent's disappointment, a teacher's judgment, a society's demand. It believes it is keeping us safe, but in truth, it keeps us small. The good news is that this voice is not who we are. It is only an echo, and every echo fades when we stop shouting back. The inner voice was not born in cruelty, it was born in fear. As children, we learn to imitate the world around us. If love was given conditionally, we learn to measure ourselves. If mistakes were punished, we learn to hide our humanity. We began to think that the only way to be loved was to be flawless. That thought, repeated thousands of times, became the inner critic we know today. But remember this, what was learned can be unlearned. When you catch yourself thinking, I am not enough, pause gently. Do not scold the thought. It is an old wound speaking. Ask it softly, who taught you that? You may feel an answer rise, an image, a memory, a feeling. Smile at it with compassion. Say, that belief may have protected me once, but I do not need it now. In that moment of awareness, you have already begun to change. The mind learns through repetition. For years, it has practiced fear. Now, we will teach it love. Begin each morning by saying, I am willing to love myself. Do not worry if the words feel mechanical. The soil of the mind remembers seeds, even if the hand trembles while planting them. Each repetition is a seed of renewal. Each loving word is instruction to the universe. Keep planting, and the harvest will come. When we speak to ourselves with cruelty, the body stiffens and the heart closes. When we speak to ourselves with gentleness, life responds as if spring has returned after a long winter. You can feel the change immediately. The breath softens, the heart warms, the eyes brighten. The inner conversation sets the tone for the entire day. You are the only one who can choose its direction. For many years I believed that self-criticism was a form of discipline, that if I scolded myself enough, I would improve. But I discovered that nothing good grows in a garden of fear. The more I punished myself, the smaller my life became. Then one day, I tried something new. I looked into the mirror and said, "Louise, I love you. I am here for you." The words felt strange, but the feeling was unmistakable. Something inside me softened for the first time in years. I realized that love, not fear, was the true teacher. You have the same power. The next time you look into your mirror, do not search for flaws. Look into your eyes and see the soul that has endured, learned, and continued to love despite everything. Say aloud, "I am willing to love you." The reflection may not believe you at first. That is all right. The child within you has heard too many harsh words. She needs time to trust this new kindness. Keep speaking gently and trust that she is listening. Self-criticism is not truth, it is habit, and habits can be changed by choosing new words. Replace "I can't" with "I am learning." Replace "I failed" with "I tried." Replace "I'm broken" with "I am healing." The mind does not care which words you use, it will believe whichever you repeat most often. So choose words that nourish you. As you practice this, notice how your behavior begins to follow your new thoughts. When you believe you are capable, you take brave steps. When you believe you are lovable, you attract kindness. When you believe you are worthy, you stop settling for less than you deserve. You no longer have to force new behavior. It arises naturally from a healed mind. Change the thought and the action follows. Every day is an opportunity to retrain your inner voice. Throughout the day, pause and ask, what am I saying to myself right now? If the answer is unkind, change it immediately. Speak to yourself as you would to someone you adore. If you forget and fall back into old patterns, forgive yourself quickly. There is no need to turn self-improvement into another reason for self-criticism. You are learning a new language, and learning always takes patience. The law of repetition is the law of transformation. The thoughts you repeat most often become the foundation of your life. That is why affirmations are so powerful. They are deliberate repetitions of truth. An affirmation is not wishful thinking. It is a declaration of cooperation with life. When you say, "I am loved," the mind begins to look for proof. The universe begins to echo it back. The outer world always follows the inner dialogue. I have watched countless people change their lives with this simple practice. A woman burdened with lifelong anxiety began saying, "I am safe and all is well." At first she did not believe it, but she said it every morning and every night. Within months, her panic softened, her sleep returned, her body healed. Nothing outside her changed, only her thought. And because the thought changed, her world did too. The same can be true for you. No matter how long the inner critic has ruled, love can rewrite the script. Begin gently, begin now. Each time you catch a harsh thought, stop and breathe. Imagine taking that thought by the hand and saying, "Thank you for trying to protect me, but I choose love instead." Then replace it with something kind. "I am learning to love myself more each day." You will feel the shift immediately. The most important approval you will ever receive is your own. Others may praise you, but unless you approve of yourself, their words cannot reach your heart. You may win every award, earn every title, and still feel unworthy if the inner voice continues to say, "Not enough." True peace begins when you decide to become your own ally. Approval from within is the foundation of lasting happiness. The mind is a magnificent instrument, but it needs direction. You are the conductor of this orchestra. Without your loving guidance, the mind plays the same discordant tune of the past. But when you pick up the baton of awareness and begin to lead with compassion, harmony returns. The music of your thoughts becomes beautiful again. So today, as you move through your hours, listen for the tone of your inner voice. Is it gentle? Is it fair? Is it loving? If not, change it. Speak to yourself as you would to a dear friend. Every kind word you offer yourself is a healing. Every approving thought is a step toward wholeness. And when you forget, when the old voice rises to judge, smile softly and say, "Thank you for reminding me I choose love." That simple phrase can stop years of self-criticism in its tracks. You do not need to argue with the mind. You need only to teach it new words. Before you close your eyes tonight, look once more into your mirror and whisper, "I am willing to love you. I am learning to speak gently to you. I am proud of how far you've come." The reflection will soften, the eyes will glisten, and you will know that healing has begun in the most sacred of places, the conversation within. There is a thought more powerful than any medicine, more liberating than any action. I am willing to forgive. These words open the heart like sunlight breaking through clouds. Forgiveness is not weakness, it is the purest form of strength. It is the willingness to release a story that no longer serves your healing. It is the quiet decision to stop suffering over what has already passed. Unforgiveness is a heavy thing. It weighs upon the body like a stone, pressing upon the heart, tightening the breath, clouding the mind. Each time you replay an old wound, your body relives the pain as if it were happening again. The nervous system does not know the difference between memory and reality. This is why the past feels so alive. It is kept alive through thought. But the moment you choose a thought of release, the body begins to rest. I have seen people transformed by the simple act of letting go. Shoulders that had carried the burdens of years suddenly drop. Faces that were etched with tension soften. The heartbeat steadies. The stomach unclenches. The eyes regain their light. The body responds immediately to the language of forgiveness. It does not ask for explanations. It simply obeys the peace that replaces pain. We often think forgiveness must be earned or deserved. We say, "I can't forgive them, they haven't apologized." But forgiveness has nothing to do with the other person. It is an act of self-love. It is a way of saying, "I refuse to let yesterday's pain control today's peace." When you forgive, you set yourself free. You stop drinking the poison of resentment and calling it justice. Forgiving others begins with forgiving yourself. You cannot release what you still believe you deserve to carry. Perhaps you blame yourself for not knowing better, for staying too long, for speaking too harshly, for not speaking at all. But you were doing the best you could with the understanding you had at the time. Now you know more, and knowing more allows you to do better. Self-forgiveness is not indulgence, it is maturity. It is the moment when you choose compassion over punishment. Resentment is a repetitive thought pattern. Each time you think they wronged me, you reinforce the same pathway in the brain. Forgiveness replaces that pattern with a new one. I am free now. Each repetition weakens the old story until it no longer controls your emotions. You cannot change the past, but you can change your relationship with it. Forgiveness does not erase memory, it removes the sting. The body cannot thrive under the constant tension of bitterness. Guilt, anger, and shame disrupt its natural harmony. But when forgiveness enters, the chemistry of peace floods the system. Blood flows more easily, breath deepens, sleep improves. Forgiveness is not abstract, it is physiological. The body is relieved when the mind stops waging war. The most powerful declaration you can make is, "I am willing to release the past." These words signal to life itself that you are ready for ways to work You do not have to know how the release will happen. You only need to open the door. Life loves to fill an open space. The moment you make room by letting go of old pain, new blessings rush in to take its place. Try this simple visualization. Close your eyes and imagine a soft golden light above your head. With each breath, see it flowing gently into your body, filling you with warmth. Let it move to every corner of your being, your heart, your stomach, your hands, your memories. As the light spreads, imagine it touching everyone connected to your pain. You do not need to speak to them or see them. Just let the light include them. Then, with a deep breath, whisper, "I bless you and I release you." As you do, notice the subtle shift, the body's sigh of relief, the quiet easing in the chest. This is forgiveness at work. It is not a grand gesture. It is a simple return to harmony. The mind that forgives becomes clear. The heart that forgives becomes strong. Compassion dissolves bitterness like sunlight melts frost. It reminds you that those who hurt you were acting from their own pain. That does not make their behavior right. It simply explains it. You can release them without condoning their actions. You can bless them without welcoming them back into your life. Forgiveness does not mean returning to what hurt you. It means no longer allowing it to define you. Reframing painful memories as lessons instead of punishments transforms suffering into wisdom. Every challenge you have faced has prepared you to be more understanding, more loving, more real. The people who taught you the hardest lessons were often your greatest teachers in disguise. Thank them silently for showing you where you needed to heal. Gratitude closes the door on bitterness. When the mind stops rehearsing old injuries, the present moment returns. You begin to taste life again, to feel sunlight on your face, to laugh without guilt, to rest without fear. This is what peace feels like. Forgiveness is not an act you do once and forget. It is a practice. Each day, new opportunities arise to release judgment, both toward others and toward yourself. If a memory arises that stings, do not push it away. Breathe into it and say, "I choose peace instead of this." The thought may return, but each time you meet it with love, it loses its edge. In time, the past becomes quiet, like a story you once read and no longer need to revisit. You will know you have truly forgiven when you can think of the person or the event and feel neutrality. Not affection, not anger, just peace. The memory remains, but the wound is gone. Forgiveness has turned pain into understanding. Forgiveness is the most direct path to healing because it aligns you with life's natural flow. Life is always moving forward. Resentment keeps you facing backward. You cannot walk toward joy while staring at the door of the past. When you forgive, you turn around and face the sunrise again. So take a deep breath right now. Place your hand over your heart and say quietly, "I release all resentment. I forgive myself and all others. I am free." Say it again until the words begin to feel true. You do not need to force belief. Willingness is enough. The universe hears the intention, not the struggle. Each repetition builds a bridge from pain to peace. As you move through your day, remember that forgiveness is not something you do for others. It is something you allow within yourself. Every time you choose to release instead of rehearse, to bless instead of blame, to breathe instead of tighten, you are practicing self-love in its highest form. And when you lie down tonight, whisper one more time, "I am willing to release the past." Let those words settle into your bones. As you sleep, life will take them and turn them into healing. The cells will renew, the mind will rest, the heart will dream of freedom. Forgiveness, my dear, is not the end of your healing, it is the beginning of your peace. Willingness is the gentle beginning of every miracle. It is the quiet voice that says, "Perhaps life could be easier than I've been taught." It does not demand, it does not force. It simply opens the door. When you say, I am willing to change, you invite the whole universe to assist you. The moment you make that declaration, unseen forces begin to move, rearranging circumstances, people, and opportunities to match your new readiness. Life has been waiting for your permission to help you. Many people believe healing requires great effort, that they must strive, struggle, or earn it. But effort comes from fear. Willingness comes from love. Effort says, I must do this alone. Willingness says, I trust that life will guide me. Healing is not a race to the finish, it is a surrender to divine cooperation. You cannot push your way into peace, you allow it to rise, like sunlight breaking through clouds. Willingness is a thought, but it carries the power of a prayer. It does not need to know how, it only needs to say yes. When you whisper, I am willing to see this differently, a light turns on inside the mind. The problem may look the same for a while, but something has shifted beneath it. You have stopped arguing with life and begun to listen. That subtle change in attitude opens the way for everything else. I remember a time when I was clinging tightly to an old belief. I told myself, this is who I am, this is how it's always been, but life kept showing me discomfort, tension in the body, obstacles in my path. Finally, I sat down, breathed deeply, and said aloud, I am willing to let this go. I didn't know how, and I didn't need to. Within days, new insights appeared, new ease returned. That is how willingness works. It creates a space where answers can find you. When we insist on controlling every detail, we block the flow of good that is trying to reach us. Life is intelligent beyond our comprehension. It knows how to heal the body, how to mend the heart, how to align us with joy, but it cannot work through a mind filled with resistance. The moment you release the need to understand everything, you make room for grace. Letting go is not giving up. It is giving over to a wisdom greater than the mind. If doubt arises, and it will treat it tenderly. Doubt is not the enemy of faith. It is its invitation. When doubt whispers, what if this doesn't work? Answer softly. What if it does? Use doubt as a reminder to reaffirm your willingness. Each time you do, you strengthen trust. Trust grows quietly, like roots beneath the soil, until one day you realize it supports everything you do. Life cooperates with those who cooperate with it. The spiritual law of cooperation says that the energy you send out is the energy that returns to you. When you resist, life mirrors resistance. When you open, life pours blessings into your hands. The universe is not withholding your good, it is waiting for your consent to deliver it. Every miracle begins with the words, I am willing. Small moments of willingness create great transformation. You might be unwilling to forgive today, but willing to be willing. That is enough. You might not love yourself fully yet, but you can be willing to learn. Each layer of willingness brings you closer to freedom. It is the seed that grows into understanding, the spark that becomes light. Do not underestimate its quiet power. Willingness changes the energy of every situation. Imagine standing before a closed door. Pushing only tires you. But the moment you step back and say, perhaps there's another way, the handle turns easily. Many of us have been pushing for years against others, against life, against ourselves. Willingness is the moment you stop pushing and start allowing. It is the shift from resistance to grace. I have watched people heal lifelong patterns with this single shift in thought. A woman who had battled chronic illness for years once told me, I've tried everything and nothing works. I asked her gently, have you tried saying, I am willing to heal? She smiled faintly and said she would. Weeks later, she returned radiant. "Something changed," she said. "I don't understand it." I told her she didn't need to understand. She had opened the door, and life had walked in. You may find yourself asking, "But what if I am not willing?" That honesty itself is a form of willingness. You are willing to look, to question, to consider. Even resistance can be met with love. Say, "I am willing to be willing." These words disarm the mind's defenses. They invite love to slip quietly through the cracks of fear. Once love enters, it will do the rest. Willingness dissolves the illusion of separation between you and the divine. It reminds you that you are not a lonely traveler, but a partner in creation. When you say, "I am willing to love myself," you are not making a demand. You are extending an invitation to the infinite intelligence that created you. And life, hearing your call, always responds. Not sometimes, always. Try saying it aloud right now. "I am willing to change. I am willing to love myself." Feel how the words vibrate through your body. They carry the resonance of truth. The mind may doubt, but the heart recognizes this language. It relaxes immediately. You can feel at peace settling like warm sunlight in your chest. That is the evidence that willingness is already working. The peace that follows willingness is unlike any other. It does not depend on perfect circumstances. It does not require the approval of others. It simply is. It comes from knowing that you no longer need to struggle against life. You are working with it now, not against it. The body calms, the mind clears, and you begin to trust the timing of your own unfolding. When you stop trying to force your healing, you create space for the miracle to arrive. Miracles are not extraordinary. They are natural expressions of love where fear once lived. When you choose willingness, you are choosing love, and love always heals. So take a deep breath now and whisper these words. "I am willing to see things differently. I am willing to love myself. I am willing to trust life." Let these words be your prayer, your mantra, your bridge from confusion to clarity. You do not need to push, strive, or prove. You need only to be willing. Willingness is the door that opens effortlessly when the heart is ready to step through. Every great transformation in life begins with this soft surrender. From willingness, faith is born. From faith, action flows. From action, miracles appear. That is the rhythm of creation. That is the song of healing. Let your heart sing it quietly. "I am willing, I am willing, I am willing." And watch in the days to come how life begins to move in harmony with your simple yes. There comes a moment after all the seeking, all the learning, all the gentle willingness, when love is no longer something you reach for. It becomes what you are. It is the still point of the turning world, the truth that does not waver no matter what happens. When you understand that you are the thought of love itself, life transforms from effort into expression. You no longer chase peace, you radiate it. You no longer beg for love, you embody it. Love is not a mood or a passing emotion. It is the essence of being. It is the silent rhythm beneath every breath, the pulse that moves through every creature. It is the invisible thread connecting all things. When you align with love in thought, you align with the intelligence that holds the stars in place and turns the seasons. Love is life's natural order. Everything that heals does so because love has been allowed to flow again. For so long, we have been taught to search for love outside ourselves, to earn it, to deserve it, to chase it in the faces of others. But that search always ends in exhaustion because it begins with a false idea that love is something separate from us. The truth is far simpler and infinitely more comforting. Love is not something to get, it is something to remember. You are made of it as the wave is made of the ocean. When you live as love, even the simplest moments become sacred. Pouring a cup of tea, walking down the street, speaking to a stranger, all become opportunities to extend what you have found within. You no longer wait for special occasions to share kindness. You let kindness be your way of being. The mind that once repeated fearful thoughts now speaks the language of compassion. Each gentle thought becomes a blessing sent into the world. To live this way does not mean you never feel pain again. The awakened heart still feels everything, but it no longer clings to suffering. When sorrow arises, love holds it tenderly until it dissolves. When anger comes, love listens to it without judgment and then releases it. Love allows every emotion to pass through without becoming it. You begin to understand that peace is not the absence of feeling, it is the presence of understanding. The true sign of living as love is how you respond when the world forgets. When others act harshly or speak unkindly, love does not retreat. It sees their pain, remembers their innocence, and blesses them silently. This is not weakness, it is power of the highest kind. The ego reacts, love responds. The ego defends, love understands. The ego separates, love unites. And every time you choose love over fear, you heal a piece of the world. You become a mirror for others, reflecting their forgotten goodness. When they stand in your presence, something softens in them, even if they do not know why. They feel seen without being judged, accepted without being analyzed. That is the quiet power of a healed mind. It heals others simply by existing. You do not need to preach or persuade. Love speaks louder through presence than words ever could. Living as love also means honoring yourself as part of that oneness. It is not self-sacrifice, it is self-inclusion. Love that excludes the self is not love at all, it is duty. True love begins within and radiates outward. When you care for yourself, when you rest, forgive, and appreciate, you contribute to the harmony of the whole. The peace you give yourself becomes peace you give to everyone. Think of love as a rhythm. Think love, speak love, act love. Each reinforces the other until it becomes second nature. Your thoughts bless your mind, your words bless your world, and your actions bless all life around you. Healing then becomes continuous, not an event, but a way of existing. You stop trying to heal because there is nothing left to fix, only more to love. The healed mind sees beauty everywhere, in a stranger's kindness, in the curve of a leaf, in the silence between words. It looks upon the world and says, this too is love. And when difficulties arise, as they still will, it looks upon them and says, this too is an invitation to love. Every experience becomes a lesson in expansion. You realize that even challenges are disguised opportunities for compassion. When you see the divine in yourself, you begin to see it in everyone. You cannot look into another's eyes without recognizing the same light that shines within your own. There is no hierarchy in love, no greater or lesser souls, only one great presence expressing itself in countless forms. To live as love is to live in awareness of that unity, and yet love is practical. It manifests in simple ways, a smile offered without reason, a kind word when silence would be easier, a moment of patience when the mind wants to hurry. Each small act affirms your connection to the whole. Each moment of gentleness adds light to a world that has forgotten its brightness. You become a living affirmation that love is still here. The outer signs of inner peace are unmistakable. The body grows lighter, the voice softens, laughter returns. Relationships heal not through effort, but through authenticity. Prosperity begins to flow because there is no longer a belief in lack. Health improves because the body thrives in harmony. You do not force these results. They unfold naturally as reflections of the thought you have chosen to live. Carry your affirmation with you. I am willing to love myself. Let it become your heartbeat. Whisper it as you wake, as you work, as you walk. Let it become so familiar that it shapes your every perception. This simple phrase contains the entire truth of healing. Willingness opens the door. Love walks through it. When you catch yourself judging, return to love. When fear rises, return to love. When uncertainty clouds your vision, return to love. There is no situation in which love is not the answer, because love is the only reality that endures. Everything else passes like mist in the morning Sunday. Love remains. As you move deeper into this awareness, you may find moments of stillness that feel timeless. In those moments, you are not thinking love, you are being it. You are the breath, the silence, the light. There is nothing to add, nothing to fix, nothing to chase. You are whole, you are healed, you are one with all that is. Now, take a slow breath. Feel the quiet space between your thoughts. Feel the pulse beneath your hand as you place it over your heart. Whisper softly, love is the thought that heals everything, and I am one with that love. Let the words settle like sunlight over calm water. You are not reaching for healing anymore, you are living it. You are not hoping for love, you are its living expression. This is what all the work, all the forgiveness, all the willingness has led to. The realization that healing was never about becoming something new. It was about remembering what you have always been. Walk gently now, for everywhere you go, love goes with you. Speak softly, for your words carry healing. Look kindly, for your gaze blesses the world. You have become the living thought of love, and through you, life remembers its own beauty.